Slater is reporting the Houston Texans running back David Montgomery expected to lead the Texans' backfield in carries. Second-year running back Woody Marks hoping to build on last season's rookie year success. Hopes he'll see significant amount of reps, but Montgomery will lead the way. Speaking of former Texans running backs, Joe Mixon, according to KPRC, told some teammates his NFL career just might be over.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio's Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Blitz. 2 decades on the radio, Jason Minix. 2 decades on TV, Joe Reinagel. 2 San Antonio sports voices you've trusted for years. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a Thursday, happy to have you along on this Thursday afternoon. It is The Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. My name is Joe Reinagel. That guy is Jason Minix, and we are happy to have you along on a big day here on the Blitz.
When you mentioned big day, we're calling it Coach's Day here. We've got Jeff Traylor will be calling in. He's down in Florida right now at the media days for the American. And Clint Killough, head coach at UIW, he's going to join us here in studio about 3:35.
That's outstanding, not to mention the fact that Steve Sarkisian, head coach of the Texas Longhorns, is speaking as we speak right now at the SEC Media Day. So we will be hearing from him at some point in time during this broadcast as well. So you're right, Coach's Day.
Well, and again, with the media days that are going on, and, there's so much to get into, whether you're looking at what Lane Kiffin has had to say today, we're all going to die someday. That's what he said today. Thanks, Coach.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. But he's also gotten off of social media, which – for a guy like Lane Kiffin, I guess is news. I didn't notice, but I'm not knee-deep into LSU or any of the stops that he's been in. I just generally, when you see something from Lane Kiffin going viral, it's because of, I don't know, it's become funny. And, just his everyday posting, I guess, doesn't. So I didn't realize he had given up on social media and how much better his life actually is now that he's not consumed with it.
Well, I would imagine because he get hammered all the time. He also said today that what's the word? Regrets the way he left Ole Miss.
Wow.
And I call BS on that. No, he doesn't. That's just kind of his MO, is it not? Well, I mean, he leaves and he goes somewhere else, and that's just what he does.
It is what he does, although I can see, listening to him, maybe there is some sincerity. I mean, you handled it the best way you thought you could in the moment. Then you look back at it and go, yeah, that was messy. That was dumb. Why'd I do that?
Yeah.
Regret might be. I mean, does he wish he might have done things differently? Sure. Does he regret anything that he's done? No.
No, I don't think so. I mean, the guy's at LSU now. I'm sure he's making more money than he was making at Ole Miss. More high-profile school, although this year that might not be the case. It looks like Ole Miss, at least as we head into the preseason of college football, is ranked higher than LSU in every poll that I've seen. So we'll see how it goes.
It's just a fun time when you get to talking season, when you get to the area of football where, and again, we just know it's right around the corner. You're seeing the countdown days, the number of Saturdays until the first game in college football, you're down to just needing less than 2 hands. Same with the NFL. It's here. Football season is almost here. It's like counting down for Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. And again, the Cowboys will arrive at training camp on Monday. Mm-hmm. This coming Monday. We will arrive in Oxnard a week from Monday for our Cowboys coverage, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. And looking forward to it.
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
I'm just ready for some football, and it's good to see that. It's funny because I'm at the gym today, and on all the TVs, it seems like there's I don't know whether what network it was or whatever, but it was like football highlights all over the place of old NFL games. And it was great. It was great to stand there and watch that stuff.
Well, we're getting ready. I was reading something earlier how the NFL always does the we're back together. And granted, yes, the NFL has tried to do that, but with the NFL Network and ESPN, never really worked. Now that's one company, so it's going to be interesting to see how it's all going to play out. And again, we know we're a long ways before our first game. But when you get to this point, you know it's here. When, the coaches' schools are going on and the different players are talking. And, we were watching a deal earlier, and Arch Manning was on ESPN. And Arch has really matured. And Rob Thompson was in the office, and we were talking about it. And, he gets asked a question about how you deal with tough games. And do you call Eli? Do you call Peyton? And he told this great story about Colt McCoy reaching out. And he went to dinner, and it was like, man, this dude has learned just deflect. Yeah, those guys are cool, but those are my uncles. Man, Colt McCoy called me. That's pretty cool.
Wait a minute, he called Rob Thompson?
Yeah, he called Arch Manning, and he and Arch Manning to talk about how to struggle.
Yeah, okay. Well, cool. Colt
go with that
on.
story. I wonder how many people will ask Mr. Aggie what it was like to go to dinner with Colt McCoy, what that conversation was
giving
like.
him some advice. Yeah, that's good. Talking to Mr. Aggie, he was a little less than optimistic about the Aggies and their quarterback.
Kind of circling back on the conversation that we were having yesterday, the Aggies, I think they're going to have a really good year. Hell, they had a great year last year. Marcel Reed is still the question. He's inconsistent. They didn't play well in Austin, and they didn't play well in the playoffs. But that was a damn good football team last year. He's been there long enough now. You would figure they would be that he'll take the next step and play even better. And Rob's like, I can't believe we couldn't find another quarterback. I mean, I remember they were in on the Sorsby thing. I'm sure they're glad they dodged that bullet.
Absolutely.
But Marcel Reed, is he great? No. Is he awful? No. Can he get the job done? The Aggies had a hell of a team last year. I mean, go back and remember they weren't a 500 football team. It's weird because Rob is the definition of battered Aggie syndrome. I mean, if you were to look it up in the dictionary, there's Rob in his fishing shirt right there. It's going to be good, but I'm prepared for it not to be, so I can be pleasantly surprised and then start bitching as soon as it goes bad. See, I told you so.
Well, Aggies were 11-2 last year.
Yeah.
7-1 in the SEC, but they finished fourth in the SEC.
Because they lost to Texas, and then they lost to Miami in the playoffs. That was a good football team last year that had they beaten Texas, they would have played in the SEC championship game.
Well, okay. If I'd have picked the right numbers, I'd have won the lottery last night.
But again, you hear people talk about the Aggies like they were a 7-win team and that they're going to be a 7-win team again this year.
But the problem is how do you define success? As an Aggie fan, I wonder, and I'm asking you Aggie fans out there, is 11-2 and finishing fourth in the SEC, is that a successful year? My bet would be most of them would say no. I mean, that you would. Look, when you're in college football and you're the Texas A&M Aggies and you've got these high hopes and you see what your head coach Mike Elko and you've got a good football team, I think better than 11-2 and finishing fourth in the SEC is probably what everybody wants. So how do you define a successful season? You could ask that about any team. You ask the Texas Longhorns, did they have a successful season last year? As a Longhorn fan.
No.
Okay, but they were a pretty damn good football team.
Yeah, they were.
But that's not a successful season. So I think when you look at the Aggies or a guy like Rob or any Aggie fan, it's like, no, that's not good enough. We've got to win the SEC, make a good playoff run, maybe win a national title. We heard Mike Elko yesterday say the trophy case is empty.
And I loved that. And he's been hammered for it. Now,
I don't know who's hammering.
Dude, go look at social. A Longhorn fan. I mean, the Aggie jokes write themselves.
Oh well,
but it is. I loved what Elko said yesterday about the trophy case. You talk from a motivational standpoint, realizing, yeah, you're right. Look, I mean, and there are various levels of success. This year, the San Antonio Spurs had a successful season. Although we moved the goalpost so many times, it ended up being a major disappointment because, one, they didn't win the championship, and the way they played and blew leads in the NBA Finals hard to be excited about ultimately what they did right now. Looking back on it months later, you can say that was a successful run. And I would say, and again, I'm not an Aggie fan, but I think the Aggies had a very successful year last year. Did it end in disappointment? Sure. But at the same time, do you pick up where you left off? And it feels like most expect them, like, man, we way overachieved last year. Ain't no way we can do that again. And that just surprises me.
Again, they've got a tougher schedule this year than they had last year. That's for sure. But you could say that about everybody. Texas does as well. I'm just looking at here what is some sound that we may or may not hear from Paul Feinbaum. It's title or bust for Texas. That's how you have to go into the season. And I think anything short of that, even though there's only one team standing at the end, anything short of that for programs like A&M, like Texas, like Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, is a failure of a season. And I'm just not sure you can say, well, we had a great season, but, we're just disappointed at the end. No. If we don't win it all, we got to go start over. Let's go. And we got to win that championship. And so I just think that's where you're at, and that's what I mean by defining success. The Spurs, okay, a little different story because nobody expected them to be in the NBA Finals. Yes, they overachieved, and they should have won the damn thing. But when you're looking at a Texas or a Texas A&M, I think every year you've got to be looking at winning the whole damn thing, and if you don't, well, you're disappointed.
Texas is going to win this year, so the Aggies are disappointed. Is that what you're saying?
So? No, I didn't say that. No.
I mean, you didn't say that. Nick Saban said that could happen.
Well, it could happen. I mean, I could go outside and find a $500 bill. I mean, a lot of things could happen.
I mean, you got a better chance of finding a $2 bill.
Well,
but
yeah, that's true. Had a long discussion about $2 bills today with Rob Thompson. They found it in his couch.
Of course he did.
A whole stack of them.
$200 worth of $2 bills.
Interesting
story. It was
story.
his dad's couch, but that's another story.
We'll let Rob tell that story at some time if he'd like to on the AJ and Rob show. But in the meantime, it is SEC Media Days. You talked about Lane Kiffin. He's already talked. But Nick Saban is talking a lot. Mm-hmm. And he's got a lot to say about a lot of different things, including the Texas Longhorns. And we're going to hear from the godfather of college football, Nick Saban, when we return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Let's be honest. Watching the Rangers is better when you got something on the line. On Rangers game days, call your shot with the morning huddles. Rangers Double Dinger Payday. Play ball! Pick the Ranger you think will send one into the seats. He hits one, you're going to a Rangers game. He hits two. Now you've just been upgraded. Tickets and a hotel stay. That's what we call getting paid. Wake up with the Morning Huddle. Make your pick and win with the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Have you ever done a jingle? It's my only jingle experience. My first line is, "This is the worst thing I've ever heard." The engineer raised his clipboard up over his head and smashed it onto the soundboard. Buttons scattered like Legos across the room. And then my violin player goes, "He wrote that jingle, man."
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Listen to the John Clay Wolf Show, Saturday morning at 8 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The granddaddy of all hunting shows is back, and we're celebrating our 50th year of the Hunters Extravaganza. Join us in San Antonio August 7th through 9th. Come see Gator Country, Heart of Texas snake handlers, enter the deer competition, and compete in the annual indoor 3D archery tournament. Discover the latest hunting gear and apparel, book hunts, and find everything you need for the hunt. The Hunters Extravaganza, brought to you by the Texas Trophy Hunters Association. Get tickets at ttha.com.
San Antonio, there's a new place to watch the NBA playoffs. Novo Brewery. Over 80 feet of massive video walls, cold craft beers, and hard kombucha on tap. This is not your average sports bar. And the food? We're talking juicy, thick-cut ribeyes, Brazilian empanadas, stacked burgers, carne asada fries, and more. And here's the best part. Novo Brewery has its own private entrance, completely separate from North Star Mall. Pull up, walk in, game on. Late hours, legendary atmosphere. Check out the menu and taps at novobrew.com. That's N-O-V-O brew.com.
That refresh you've been putting off until the right deal came along? It's here. Wayfair's Black Friday and July sale is happening now, so you can finally get the style you've been waiting for less. Get up to 80% off area rugs and up to 60% off outdoor and bedroom furniture. Shop Wayfair's huge selection of styles and find the piece to fit your style, budget, and space. Plus, free shipping. Black Friday in July ends July 27th. Shop today at wayfair.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Hot summer days and high energy bills are on the way. Upgrade your home's old leaky windows this month with Window Nation at 50% off all window styles. Yes, 50% off new, beautiful, energy-efficient windows, plus 0 down, 0 interest, and no payments for 2 years. Call now, 866-200-8670 or windownation.com. In select markets, trust our family of brands, New South Window and ArmorView. That's 866-200-8670 or windownation.com to book a consultation.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. Every day you wait, pain has one more day to take from you. If it's keeping you from work, workouts, sleep, or just feeling like yourself, it's time to fix it. At Arasti, we find the root cause and treat it. No pills, no surgery. Most patients feel better in just one visit. Covered by most insurance plans, visit Arasti.com today. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
To find the location nearest you, visit Arasti.com.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like head administrator for a state-of-the-art surgical center.
What can I do for you, Doc?
We need to talk about the lights.
Ah, the mood lighting, relaxing, right? Much better than those old hospital vibes.
A hospital's supposed to have hospital vibes.
You seem tense. Let's dim the lights a bit.
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, Alexa, play 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Jeff Traylor is going to join us about 2:35. About 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes, something like that, as he gets ready for the football season. They're up there taking pictures. Oh, Jeff and Owen McCown, they look like models.
Well, they did, boy, they jetted down there in style today down in Florida.
A little private jet going. Wow, big time. We'll talk to Coach Traylor about all of that when he joins us in about 20 minutes or so. SEC Media Days are going on right now as well, and I tell you what, Jason, Nick Saban seems to really be mouthy these days. I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but he's talking a lot.
You know, he is, but he is on the payroll for ESPN. And after last week, I think he has said yes to every show that said, "Hey, Nick, can we get you on?" It's part of the job description. Other duties is assigned. All right, you need me on this show, I'm there. You need me on. But again, when Nick Saban speaks, people listen. You know, there's a certain population that when I use this, when E.F. Hutton talks, right? There are people out there that still remember that, including Nick Saban, but he does he's getting asked about all the different topics from what teams are going to be good to how do you fix college football, because he is Nick Saban. He is, you just called him the Godfather. He's a 7-time champion. If there were to be a commissioner of college football, he would be the likely top candidate for most people. And although, dare I say, the bias still shows towards the SEC when talking about conference dominance.
First of all, whoever wins the national championship doesn't define who has the best conference. I think the best conference gets defined by how many good teams do you have from top to bottom, and I think the SEC has a lot of good teams from top to bottom. So I do think that the Big Ten has had 3 really, really good football teams. I mean, Michigan had a great team, beat us in overtime in the playoffs, 3 years ago. Ohio State, Indiana, they had really, really good teams. We continued last year. We had 5 teams in the playoffs, as an SEC conference, which says that there's, pretty good depth in this league. A couple other teams, Vanderbilt and Texas, could have got in. So there's a lot of good teams in the SEC. I think every coach is trying to get his team to play at the highest level possible and hopefully get the best results possible. And if that leads to a championship, that's the ultimate goal. But I don't think they feel pressure just because somebody else won a couple championships.
SEC is showing?
Well, it is showing. And, look, to me, it's very simple. If you're standing on the top of the mountain at the end of the day, representing your conference, that's the best conference. I just feel that way. And right now, I think the Big Ten has got that crown, and they've had it for now, the last 3 years? Until the SEC or somebody in the SEC wins that championship, then I got to say the Big Ten's the best conference at this point in time.
And they do currently have the national championship. It's there. Now, as Sark takes the podium, the expectations in Austin are always high. And I know last year it kind of felt like Texas had a chance. This year, it's Paul Feinbaum said it best. I mean, it's title or bust.
You know the answer, Greeny. It is yes. You don't get to this point with one of the most celebrated players in modern college football history and lay an egg like Texas did last year. Remember, they lost that Ohio State game, and then they dropped a game to Florida a couple weeks later, which really knocked them out of the CFP. They lost to Georgia later on. But they not only have Arch Manning, they have so many amazing players that they picked up in the portal. They have one of the best rosters, if not the best in all of college football, certainly the best in the SEC. They have to get to the title game.
And again, that's what defines success for the Texas Longhorns, is it not? I mean, getting to the title game. This is Arch Manning's third year. He's got to be the Arch Manning that everybody was expecting his rookie year, which I thought was very unfair, but he didn't obviously live up to that hype in that year. He got better and played better at the end of last year. This year, this is the year he's got to shine.
Well, and again, a guy like Nick Saban says Arch is the kind of player that can lead Texas to that national championship.
Well, I think Arch is an outstanding quarterback. I think, Arch has always had he's always tried to prove himself before he leaves. And I think the way he played down the stretch last year at the end of the season, he proved himself. And I think now he's becoming a better leader. I think they have a more mature team. I think they're going to try to add physicality and be able to run the ball effectively, which they couldn't do last year. I think all these things will affect him in a positive way in terms of his ability to be more consistent at the quarterback position, because he certainly has the capabilities to lead them to a championship.
No, he's got the pedigree. He's got the talent. I think he might be more talented in some ways than both Eli and Peyton. So, but he's got to prove it. He's got to prove it this year. And again, you heard Paul Feinbaum say Texas may have the best roster from top to bottom of anybody else in college football. If that's the case, Arch Manning needs to go out there and shine.
And again, when you look at the receivers, now I remember meeting Wingo when he was playing here in the Navy All-American Bowl. I mean, dude played in the game on a Saturday, and then after the game drove up to Austin to start his career early. Then you look at the transfer wide receiver that they got. Arch Manning is going to be playing with, 4 or 5 high draft picks. But then you also look at when you've got that many weapons, how do you distribute the football? How do you make sure everybody, one, stays happy? And if you're winning, nobody's bitching. If you're not winning, then you get all those people that the diva qualities of a wide receiver, and that is a compliment, that starts coming out. But, again, he's got to have that offensive line protect him. Their offensive line is massive. They should be able to hold up, but all those SEC defensive fronts, man, that's it is a challenge, but also with the weight of those expectations on the shoulders, mentally, can he handle it? He seems more mature. Just even watching him a little bit today, doing some of the interviews, there is a different calmness about him than what you remember from 2 years ago or even last year. And hopefully, if you're a Longhorn fan, that pressure, that mental side of things, he can deal with. Not everybody can. I'll never forget hearing Garrett Gilbert talk about the death threats that he used to get and, all the expectations that he had, and he never lived up to those expectations, and I think a big part of it was between the ears.
And that happens. That happens to some very talented individuals that between the ears, they just never get it done. I think Kyler Murray is one of those guys, and I mean that in all sincerity. I think he's got all the tools, but There's just something that hasn't been able to click when it comes to that guy. I don't think Arch Manning is that guy. I think he is a smart guy, smart football guy. He's got the tools, but there's just no more excuses. I mean, there's not. When you're going into your third year, it's kind of like we talked about Marcel Reed. He's going into his third year. There's no more excuses for these guys. It's not that they're playing big-time football. They've played a lot of it. And now's the time that they've got to go and shine and lead their teams to the promised land. And I mean, you look at both of those teams, and I think if you're looking at them right now, especially if you're Texas, with all the accolades you've got, with the most high-profile player in the league in Arch Manning, you don't win an SEC championship or a college football national championship, your season was a complete failure. Complete failure.
Out of curiosity, as I ask this question, because it doesn't feel like it to me, but it does, if that makes sense. How much has things changed when you look at a young player in expectations? Go back to the Garrett Gilbert reference I just made versus an Arch Manning now. How much do you put how much money these kids are making now versus when we didn't really know how much money they were making and it was for the education, right?
Uh-huh.
But I think that is another layer of added pressure that fans no longer treat college kids as kids anymore. You know, there was a time where you weren't overly critical, and I say that overly. Big-time college athletes have dealt with it, but they were still kids. There was still an amateurism that you could look at him and say, yeah, you know, he's a knucklehead kid. He'll get there. How much now that they're all making so much money that part of I ain't worried about hurting his feelings is out the window because they're getting paid gazillions of dollars.
It is there, and it should be there. I mean, and it goes with the territory. If you want to get paid, you want to jump around from team to team to team to team and collect the dollars, you should perform, and you should be expected to perform. I don't care how old you are. You want the money, you want the rewards, then you need to put in the work and get it done and be successful. So I've got no issue with that. Where I thought Arch Manning was treated extremely unfairly was coming into his first year at Texas and everybody expecting this guy to win the Heisman Trophy and take Texas to a national championship, and it just doesn't happen that way. Very rarely does it happen that way. And so I thought that was unfair, and to me, that part of it is unfair. But if you're going to jump around and jump in that transfer portal and you're going to go from this team to that team for the highest bidder and you don't perform, you deserve every bit of criticism that's thrown your way.
And obviously Texas, big favorites to not only win the SEC but the national championship. But they're not alone. Nick Saban was talking about who are the favorites to win the SEC.
Well, I think Texas and Georgia on paper, at least right now, but in July, nobody really knows what might happen in the season. You know, one of our best teams in 2019 was when Tua broke his hip, you know, the 10th or 11th game of the season. Mm-hmm. So we didn't even get in the playoffs, but that was one of the best teams we ever had. So you really don't know whatever is going to happen during the season and how you're going to be able to overcome those obstacles that you might have to overcome. So I think right now, on paper, those two teams are the best teams based on what they have coming back and what they've added to their roster.
But that's if everybody is able to stay healthy. And you look at LSU with Lane Kiffin and where Lane Kiffin left at Ole Miss. And let's not forget about what's going on in College Station.
Exactly. And the SEC is well, it's tough. And going on the road, even against a team like LSU, who may or may not have a good year, it's a tough place to play. And the atmosphere of every stadium that you go to in the SEC is going to be, it's hostile and it's difficult to win on the road. And so it's tough. And to make it through and to win the SEC is well, it's a journey, to say the least. But look, Georgia's going to be there, and Texas may have to get through them in the SEC championship game. That's a possibility, even though they don't play them in the regular season. And that's more than likely, if they want to get that far, they're going to have to go through the Bulldogs and Kirby Smart. It's going to be interesting, man. I'll tell you. It's I can't wait for it. We sit here and talk about it and the expectations and all of that kind of stuff. And let's play ball.
Exactly.
And man, we are getting close. Speaking of playing ball, the UTSA Roadrunners will do that. They are expected to be much better this year, at least according to the preseason polls. How does Jeff Traylor feel about that? Well, we'll let him tell us. He joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and the Gomez Law Firm presents the 2026 Back to School Drive. Saturday, August 1st from 11 till 1 or while supplies last at the Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Free backpacks and school supplies for all school-aged children while supplies last. Saturday, August 1st from 11 till 1. Sponsored in part by the College for Healthcare Professionals, AI United Insurance, Central Med, Tamalitos Restaurants, Somerset Academy, and Romo Door Supply.
Nobody builds a business without hearing a few reasons it won't work. Too risky, too crowded, too ambitious. But the people who move things forward usually hear those words first. Because growing a business takes more than optimism. It takes nerve, and eventually, a partner built for what's next. That's Next Rodeo. Big thinking, proven creative. For businesses still moving forward. Next Rodeo. The difference between the business you have and the business you want. Meet us at thenextrodeo.com.
Time to go back to school with Famous Footwear.
Why does it always sneak up on us?
It's like when your kid tells you about a bake sale the night before.
Then it's store-bought all the way.
Stores are the best.
Like Famous, with 800 stores, they're always nearby with shoes from the best brands like Jordan, Nike, Adidas, Birkenstock, New Balance, Skechers, and more.
Right now it's BOGO. Buy one pair, get one half off at Famous Footwear. And shop in-store to get $10 to spend this fall. Some exclusions apply.
$30 million in guaranteed prizes. Cash in this football season in Las Vegas with 3 Circa Sports contests. Entry starting at $1,000, all with no rate. Circa Million, 18 weeks of point spread action. Circa Survivor, pick one winner each week, no point spread. And the Big Daddy, Circa Grandissimo, with a $100,000 entry fee. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. $30 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for autopay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
If you or someone you love is struggling with alcohol or drug use, you do not have to carry it alone. I'm Peter McCarthy of the San Antonio Council on Alcohol and Drug Awareness, known as SACADA. We help people take the next step with compassion, privacy, and no judgment. You do not need all the answers, just a safe place to start. And 90% of our services are provided at no cost. Call SACADA at 210-225-4741. That's 210-225-4741. Or visit SACADA.org.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson in the morning.
Coming up on the AJ and Rob Show, it's a Friday. We'll be partying, yeah. Looking forward to the weekend, Rob.
Not a lot of sports to talk about. LeBron still doesn't have a home. We'll figure out where he's landed. And guess what? Cowboys are in camp, and the Blitz is heading there. We'll get you ready for Cowboy camp and all the things you care about. Get here early. Party starts at 6.
AJ and Rob, weekday mornings 6 to 10, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is the Blitz. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He is Jason Minix, and we're efforting Jeff Traylor, who is still, well, I don't know, hobnobbing with John Gruden and doing all that kind of stuff up there at the American Media Days.
Yeah, down in Florida is where they are. Took off this morning, went down there. The text I got, he's might be a few minutes behind. He's trying to get to where he can be quiet.
All right, that's fine. There could be a little noise behind him.
Well,
that's all right.
There could be. I mean, you know, the difference is when he comes on this show, he never knows where it's going to go. You go on some shows, and, yeah, he's going to tell us about Owen and Owen McCown or Owen P. We pick your Owen, and we're going to talk about it and all. With this show, he never knows where it's going to go. So,
true.
And he tells us stuff that he doesn't tell other media types. So he wants to try to keep that,
all right,
away from all the other coaches.
Cool.
Who knows? We'll see. And we've got some stuff to talk about with Jeff Traylor that really have nothing to do with football as James Pledger gets ready to patch him through. Tell us when Coach is ready, Pledge. Is he ready? He might be ready. Maybe. He's ready to go. Jeff Traylor, head football coach of the UTSA Roadrunners, on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Coach, media days are always interesting, are they not? How's your day going so far?
Oh, it's awesome. Got to hang out with John Gruden the last 20 minutes. He always keeps it pretty dang exciting.
Well, you know, I saw that, Coach. I saw some picture there. J.J. Pettis, who's been sending back stuff on social media. What do you talk to John Gruden about?
You know, we laughed when Jordan, my oldest son, he's now with the Vikings. When he was with the Saints, Coach Payton brought in Coach Gruden for a week, and just by coincidence, Jordan got to locker beside Coach Gruden. And Jordan said the moment Coach Gruden saw him, you know, Jordan started imitating his voice, "I won't do it." And he's like, Jordan Traylor, son of Jeff Traylor, head coach of the fighting UTSA Roadrunners, quarterback by Frank Harris, J.T. Clark, Oscar Cardenas, Sincere McCormick, Josh Cephas. Jordan's like, that guy knows more about ball. And same today. He just knows everything about San Antonio, about the Roadrunners, Owen McCown, Will Henderson, Pee Wee. He knew them all. So he's really a breath of fresh air how much he loves the game of football.
As entertaining as John Gruden seems to be, when you're around him, do you actually get to talk, like get a word in, or are you just listening to the stories and nodding your head?
A little bit of both. He's pretty good about giving me the mic some, but you know it's his show for sure, and he's a hell of a lot more entertaining to listen to than I am for sure.
Well, Coach, I did notice, and I don't know if you were still in the room when Owen McCown had to break down a play on the whiteboard for John Gruden. Were you in there, and what play was it?
Yeah, well, it's just an option route into the boundary and an old-school Y cross on the backside, which y'all seen Oscar Cardenas catch 1 million of them. Patrick Overmeyer caught 1 million of them. And then, you know, if the option route's covered and the cross route's covered, then you always have the deep curl on the backside, but then you got to protect it long enough. But, yeah, it's an old staple of almost, I promise you, John Gruden's coached Y-Cross. That's a Mike Leach air raid West Coast principle that's been around forever.
Now, Coach, as you prepare for Media Day, do you prepare Owen for whiteboard talk with John Gruden?
No, we did not, but we do that every day anyway. That's just part of it. We're preparing all of our kids for whiteboard information. One, it's how they learn. But two, when you get to the NFL, you know, and if you get invited to the combine or they come to talk to our kids, they're going to throw you up on the board and see how well you draw, how well you remember, how well you articulate. So that was really good for Owen. I'll get on to him about his offensive line, but they didn't look real crisp to me the way he drew them. I'm pretty anal about the way you're supposed to draw your offensive line. But you got to give the big boys their proper respect. You can't make them all sloppy looking with your squares. You got to be good, straight line squares so your O-line looks a little more in shape, not so flabby.
Well, speaking of looking good, Jeff, I mean, you've done this a while now, and you got a great pose for those pictures I noticed today.
Oh, boy, you talk about feeling awkward. The only one that hates it worse than me is probably Owen McCown and Owen Pee Wee. We were literally we felt like we were doing, you know, the goofy poses you do for your mom back when you were a little kid to make her happy. it's not comfortable for Coach Traylor, to say the least.
Speaking of looks, Coach, and we'll get into some UTSA football here in a bit, but congratulations. Saw you posted the other day about your anniversary, and my 31st was yesterday. I get it. That long run is incredible. But the picture you posted with hair, and you made a comment about, yep, at one point you had hair. But Ryan Eggle and I are sitting in the office going, dude, Jeff Traylor looks like Larry Hill. Have you ever looked at that picture and thought, you look like Larry Hill 35 years ago?
I wish I was a back-to-back defending champion like Larry Hill. I haven't had those in a while either. I need to get all that back from Larry Hill.
That was a great picture, though, Jeff. It really was. You and your wife back then. And, I mean, I look back at pictures like that, and I'm surprised that you had cameras way back then. But, seeing pictures, when you're a young man like that, it's always weird to me. Is it weird to you?
Well, what was weird to me, and I explained this to Jordan, who's been home for the last month with, my grandson Mickey and my granddaughter Georgia, that their generation is never going to have to take a picture of a picture. I mean, like, they have digital. So their whole lives are, like, literally on our phones right now. I mean, Mickey and Georgia will never, ever take a picture of a picture. And anything we're going to do digital, now I know you can scan them and do all those kind of cute things, but that's just me taking a picture of a picture at my house, where their generation is literally just going to have it digital and put it out there. So I guarantee you, if you were to show an individual picture of me, no one would know that was me. But Carrie, I think everybody knows that's Carrie. How she's aged so wonderfully and I've aged so terribly is a real mystery to me right now.
Life of a head football coach, although the stress level of a football coach's wife is not easy, so hats off to her. Now, you get ready to start another season. You said something the other day in Houston at the Texas High School Coaches Conference Association about the product on the field, and the last couple years, you haven't been overly, I don't know I forget the exact word you used, but you weren't overly thrilled with the product that you guys are putting on the field. But, coming off of back-to-back bowl wins, I know home record in the Alamo Dome's always been great. Road struggles last year. But can you kind of clarify what you meant by those comments?
Yeah, I just had a bad taste in my mouth. It's not like we won every one of our games those first 4 years either. I don't want to ever make that sound like that. But I always felt good the way it looked. In those first 4 years, even when we lost them, there's a certain way we looked and carried ourselves. And we've just been so inconsistent the last 2 years. It's been very disheartening to me. I've taken great pride in putting a product on the field that our fan base knows what they're going to get. And I think that's been consistent in the Alamo Dome, but it hasn't been consistent on the road. And we just got to get that fixed. I do think we've made some moves in college football that have gotten us better, not having the second transfer portal window in May. I know this sounds crazy. I just talked about this with JJ. Like, we're all thrilled we've had this team since January. Well, in the old days, we'd be like, man, you're a new team. You only had them since January. And now we're all celebrating that we've had the same team since January. But when you lose your starting corners back-to-back years, in May, you lose your starting kicker, defensive lineman, wide receivers, tailbacks. It's really hard to replace that. It just is, because you don't have anywhere to go. But in January, even though we lost great players, we're going to lose a starter at Ohio State, a starter at Houston, a starter at the University of Oklahoma. Losing starters in those schools. But at least I knew I was losing them, and I had an opportunity to go get them, and nobody could take them from me in May. I do think that's going to make a better product on the football field in all of college football. I think everybody's fan base – now, look, fans still get mad whether you win or lose, but there are certain fans that understand the real football part of it and go, we played a really good football game. We just lost tonight versus, God, we were terrible. That was hard to watch. I don't like that feeling.
Yeah, I don't blame you for that. Coach, I've got to ask you this, and expectations to you, I know you handled it well. For your football team, I've noticed, and I don't know how much stock you put into preseason polls and all of that kind of stuff, but I saw one where it's got UTSA finishing second in the American this year, and Owen McCowan being the best quarterback in the American Conference. Those types of expectations, I know UTSA Roadrunner fans love to see and love to hear about. How about you and your football team?
It doesn't. Really. I mean, I promise you, it doesn't matter. Look, I respect you, Joe, and I respect Jason, two of my favorite guys I deal with. It doesn't make two hoots what y'all say, JJ says. Jeff Traylor's got one expectation of the Roadrunners every single year, and that's to win the American. That's it. End of story. We don't celebrate bowl wins. We're happy we did it. We don't celebrate winning seasons. We're happy we've always done that for you guys. If we don't win the whole thing, we don't feel like we had a successful season. Now, there's a caveat to that. There's still a certain way it's supposed to look. Like when Willie beat me in that fourth year when we were in Tulane. We had more yards. We had more first downs. They did cause 3 turnovers, which won the game for them. But we had an unbelievable season in spite of not winning the championship. Well, I was still disappointed, but I was proud of our kids, right? Well, the last 2 years, I am proud that we've got a bowl and won both those bowl games. But, man, I'm not proud at all of that 4-4 conference record. The Roadrunners have got to be back up at the top winning championships. Whether JJ expects us to, Joe does, or Jason does. Yeah, is it more fun when everybody thinks we're going to be bad and we go upset everybody like the old days? Yeah, that's way more fun than when everybody expects you to do it. But Jeff Traylor and the Roadrunners always expect to do it.
Jeff Traylor, head coach of the UTSA Roadrunners, here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. New offensive coordinator this year. How is that going to work with the offense? What should fans expect?
Yeah, I just went back to a more simplistic style, much more like what I was like at Gilmer High School. We'll play more of a tempo like we did when we first got here. Won't be in the huddle as much. We're going to try to turn Owen loose a little bit more and speed up the tempo and use his wheels on his legs. Hopefully he can stay healthy. He wasn't healthy at all last year. That's a big key for us. He had surgery in the off season. He's 100% for the first time in a long time. But Rick's just a super, super good teacher of making the most complicated seem the most simple. And I'm a big fan of Rick. I think you'll see us be better. I don't know that our personnel will be better. Whenever you lose, the quality of player we lost, that's a lot of pressure to put on these kids. But I think we can get back to that by the end of the season.
Jeff, I want to go back to something you said a few minutes ago, and you were talking about the struggles that the Roadrunners had on the road last year, and you said we've got to fix that. And maybe this is a knucklehead question, I don't know, but how do you fix that?
Well, we've done a lot of studying. We studied the Big Ten teams big time. They're going all the way from the East Coast back to the West Coast and back. We've had such trouble with just transportation. I probably overreacted, getting my kids up too early, anticipating failures at the airport. And I've just talked to a lot of those guys in the Big Ten that not as big a deal to stay on the exact schedule, which I'm big at trying to do. I just think kids do better when you keep the schedule the same as it is maybe getting sleep and making sure your team is fresh. And we're going to just try some things we've learned from guys that have traveled. And honestly, we don't do a lot of traveling this year. We've got 9 games in the state of Texas. We only leave the state 3 times. One of those is to New Orleans, one of those is to Birmingham, Alabama, and the other one is at FAU. So those are the only 3 games we really travel. And I think some of it is just some coaching things, too, we've got to do a better job of. And, we played the best 2 teams in the conference last year on the road. That never helps when your schedule makes you play the best 2 teams on the road. It's always better when the best teams come to San Antonio. But we got to go beat somebody really good on the road, or we're not going to have a great year.
Well, and that's true. But it is kind of amazing, though, the dominance, what is it, 33-5 in the Alamo Dome, and I don't know how much cash it would take to the commissioner to get every game in the Alamo Dome. You just tell the commissioner, look, it's never going to rain, wind won't be an issue, snow won't be an issue. Just play all the games here.
Yeah, we were 3-4 on the road last year, and believe it or not, we did lose 2 heartbreakers. On the very last play, basically in both games, to Texas State and to Army. So it's not like we can't be beat there. We just don't. It doesn't happen very often. But we won. We were 3-4 last year. We just got to get those numbers fixed. And again, I repeat, it's hard to win in college football. It just really is. It's the way we've done it that's been so disappointing. I just haven't liked the way. Now, I never am happy after any loss, but I've done it long enough to realize there's a certain way it's supposed to look. You can feel it, you can taste it, you can smell it, you can look at it. You just know when it was done right, and I can sleep better when it's done right. And you and I also know when it looks good, smells good, feels good, it tastes good. You almost always win those games anyway. But there are times you lose when you still played well, but not many.
Well, and Jeff, as I look at your schedule, you guys, there's no real softies on this schedule. I don't know that much about Rio Grande Valley, but then you've got Texas State, you've got Texas, and then Colorado State before you get into the conference schedule. You guys are going to be prepared, and you're going to be tested early on.
Those first four, if you're sitting around with your buddies, you can hear anything from the Roadrunners being 1-3 to 3-1 to 2-2. And I'll tell you, don't sleep on Travis Bush and UTRGV. That's where Eddie Lee went and played last year. You remember our great backup quarterback?
Yep.
And they lit up the skies last year. Travis has coached here. He was on Coach Coker's very first staff. He was, I think, might have been the first OC of the program. If not, I know he was the OC at UTSA before Kevin Brown became the OC. So Travis is very familiar with us. Those kids down there in the Valley will be very excited about coming to the Alamo Dome. They'll give us all we want to handle. And then we go to San Marcos to play GJ. And then we go to Austin to play Sark. And then we come home to play Coach Mora in Colorado State, where they've really upped their rev share and what they're spending at Colorado State. So that's just the first four. Then you get to the American Conference still. So we're in big boy football, no doubt.
No doubt about that. Now, Coach, you think about the Jeff Traylor coaching tree, and it is kind of amazing watching SEC media days and seeing some with Roadrunner ties now as head coaches. I'm curious how often you text those guys about their podium game. Did you see Will Stein when they said, "Hey, why are you going to be successful at Kentucky?" And he's like, "Well, me, obviously."
Yeah. Will Sunshine Stein. Will's never had a bad day. He's always been that way. That's Will. He's being true to himself. And that's what I will tell you about Will. That's how Will is. And not what I would have done personally, but I'm not Will. Will's got his own way to beat his own drum. I know what Will meant. I know him very well. It probably didn't come across the way Will really meant it, but he said it, and he stood by it, and he even thought about it before he said it.
It was like Ricky Bobby all of a sudden. Me.
I loved it.
I did too.
Well, if you know him, that's just Will. I've called him Will Sunshine Stein since the day I met him. That's just how the boy operates, and he doesn't have there's not a bigger fan in the world of Will Stein than Jeff Traylor.
Jeff, I've got to ask you, you're going through all this pomp and circumstance here at the media days for the American Conference and pictures and interviews and all of that stuff. How ready are you for September 5th?
I'll be honest. It used to be my most favorite time of the year, but I enjoy building my teams more than I do the games now. Now, believe it or not, the schedule the work hours are incredibly hard and long during the season, but at least you get your team out there to play. So I know I'm kind of double talking. I don't really love it like I used to love it. I love building the team. When the games get here, injuries, things you can't control just happen so much. It gets very frustrating. There's nothing better than a great win. There's nothing more demoralizing than a tough loss. So I'm still hanging on to what I got right now. It's nice seeing my wife. It's nice seeing my friends. It's nice hitting the golf ball occasionally. It's nice being able to have everybody. I've unmuted everybody. I'm listening to everybody talk, and then here in about 2 more weeks, I might have to mute the world and go kind of to a hole and hide. And I don't really like that as far as my personal life. And so I'm just being very honest with you there.
Well, I appreciate it.
I mean, and that's the reality part of it. That's the real part of it, which is why I think so many fans here in San Antonio appreciate and love you, because you do come across very honest and sincere when you give answers like that, not some stock cliche answer.
And I'll say this too, and I'm very grateful because I know everybody's been frustrated the last 2 seasons. When I go to church, when I go to Aldo's, when I go have some good Mexican food at all 14 places I go to, everybody is not one person has ever even been the slightest rude. If anything, they've been super positive, super grateful, super appreciative. So it's one of these rare jobs where even when I have a tough loss, I know I can go to church and I'm going to get treated a certain way. I know I can take my wife to dinner and not get treated bad. So I'm very grateful to the city of San Antonio for that as well.
It is a great city in that regard. It really is. You know, you're a San Antonian, and people here appreciate that, win, lose, or draw.
Well, it's not that way. I've been a few other places. You just go to, if you went to church, you watched it on the TV. You didn't show up at church.
Jeff Traylor down in Florida at the media days for the American, and seeing you on social media this morning. Boy, you got down there in style today.
Man, I'm so grateful. Actually, Jason Minix deserves that credit.
No. That's Eric Helton. That's just connecting people, man. Just don't spill anything on my seat. I'm surprised you gave Owen the good seat in the private jet.
Well, the quarterback's always ran my show. But Frank Harris, Owen McCallum, whatever they want, they get. But I'm really grateful for that booster. I know he doesn't want anybody to know his name or even be talked about. But, man, that was such a relief for us to get our kids down here so quickly, and we'll be able to get them out of here tomorrow quickly and get us back to work in San Antonio. So grateful. And I know you're not taking any credit, but thank you, Jason, for helping me with that. I
appreciate it, but that's all Encore Jet. I can tell you that. That was like, hey, how can I help? Well, here you go, and you go from there. I'm just – I don't want to say this in a negative way, but, man, you guys left early this morning. You're coming back, but, it's fun to drink on that plane. I can tell you that.
Well, those days are gone right now. That'll crank back up, hopefully, after a conference championship win, and it's time to get back to that for the Roadrunners.
Good
Absolutely.
Stuff. Good stuff. Well, Jeff, enjoy your time down there in Florida, and I can't wait to where we get to do this every week during the season.
Same. I always look forward to it. I even told that booster today, the guys on the jet, how much I appreciate them. We had an unbelievable win against Bailey Zappi, and it was one of the best road wins we've ever had at UTSA. And my man Jason was still upset with a 4-minute offense, and I thought to myself, damn, he's mad to this one. I hate to see what this is going to be like in a few years.
Mm-hmm. A little whiteboard talk. I mean, you never forget anything, do you, Jeff?
No, well, you're good at your job. You're very sharp, and you always keep me honest, and I appreciate that, brother.
I appreciate you, man. Enjoy Florida. Thank you so much, Jeff.
Take care. God bless. Birds up.
Appreciate it. Jeff Traylor, head football coach of the UTSA Roadrunners, here on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com.
Good stuff from Jeff Traylor, as usual, always is, and he's always open and honest, and we appreciate that, no matter what it is or what we're talking about. We didn't even get into the politics of the whole thing, and so I can't wait to do that when it comes to the
plenty of time for that.
We'll have plenty of time for that. Well, that's not it. That's just the start. Clint Killough, the head coach of UIW, is going to join us at about 3:35. So about 35 minutes from right now, we'll hear from Steve Sarkisian as well, and maybe a little Arch Manning, too. I saw he was on the podium also. We got a lot to do, so stay with us here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville.
Hi, I am Officer Sarai Walton with the San Antonio Police Department. SAPD is always hiring, and you can apply online if you think you have what it takes to become part of the SAPD family. Submit your application at sapdcareers.com. Once you submit your application, you will be contacted to begin the process. The San Antonio Police Department is always hiring. Start your journey to a rewarding career by applying online at sapdcareers.com. That is sapdcareers.com.
Life is meant to be lived in motion, in the moment, on the go. If a sports injury or chronic pain threatens to slow you down, hold you back, or take you out of the game, Chris's Health is here, right where you live, with complete personalized orthopedic care. Because you have a lot of games to play, miles to go, and life to live. Christus Health. Your health, your life, our purpose. Find care near you at christushealth.org.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The greatest shopping event of the summer is here. Macy's Black Friday and July sale is back, where you'll find 40 to 60% savings on all the hottest summer fashion and more. Don't wait. Get first dibs on everything you love about Black Friday shopping, from unbeatable sales across the store to curated styles for the season at lower than low prices. Head to Macy's now for a fun-filled holiday shopping adventure smack dab in the middle of summer. It's the can't-miss sale of the month, Black Friday and July at Macy's. Savings off select prices. Exclusions apply.
We wouldn't be celebrating America 250 if it wasn't for a strong foundation set by the framers. Hamilton built America's financial foundation on sound money, later embodied by the gold standard. But we abandoned that discipline in 1971 and have seen inflation erode the dollar's value. What's the foundation of your savings? Is it gold or something that can be devalued? Hi, it's Dr. Ron Paul, and I encourage you to speak with my friends at Birch Gold Group about diversifying an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold. Learn more by requesting a free info kit on gold IRAs. Just text the word SECURE to the number 989898. Let Birch Gold help you build your foundation with gold. Text the word SECURE to the number 989898. Text SECURE to 989898.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Former Houston Texans running back Joe Mixon, according to KPRC, told some of his former teammates his NFL career may be over. Although he did add, he stated that there is some hope for a return. Of course, Mixon missed all of last season due to an unspecified injury that is still unknown to this point. Houston Rockets are hiring former Spurs assistant Chip England as a new assistant on Ime Udoka's staff. He's well regarded in shooting.
From the studios of San Antonio's Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Blitz. 2 decades on the radio, Jason Minix. 2 decades on TV, Joe Reinagel. 2 San Antonio sports voices you've trusted for years. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Oh, happy Thursday, everybody. Hope you're having a great one out there, whatever you're doing, however you're doing it. Thanks for spending a little time with us here on the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We are happy to have you along. I'm Joe Reinagel. That's Jason Minix.
It's so much fun to talk to football coaches this time of year as we're getting ready. And as you mentioned, UIW's head football coach Clint Killough will join us here in about half an hour. So he's probably getting ready to hit Broadway and then take a ride on Austin Highway to head over here to the radio station. And I see one of the comments on our YouTube page, which you can get to through sasportstar.com. Says, you guys need a UIW football helmet for your collection.
I agree.
We've asked. We've asked. But for many years, when we moved into this studio, we asked UTSA for a helmet, got one in about 8 minutes. Took about 3 years to get the one from Trinity. Jeremy Urban dropped that one off last week. G.J. Kinney was the first one we asked for a helmet, and we've asked Clint. So we'll see if he shows up with a helmet.
You know, if I was a gambling man, I'm just spitballing here, but I have a feeling he will.
I'm not going to lie. I texted him earlier, a reminder, and took a picture from the studio where he could see all those helmets. We'll see. We'll see. But I love that you guys that are watching on YouTube notice, because we want all the San Antonio teams represented. We do.
I mean, who else should we have? We've got a Texas Tech helmet, which is way up there in the Panhandle.
Well, it is.
Should we have a Texas State helmet?
Well,
I think so.
You're a Texas State alum.
I think so. So is Pledge, and so I think it's just appropriate that we have one of those.
If TLU were to send a helmet, we would put that up. I mean, it's better than just having nothing there, right?
No, I agree.
But we wanted to go. We wanted to go with all the college teams, and well, quite frankly, we had a Longhorn and Aggie helmet in the office, so we put those up, and then it's kind of grown from there.
The others we had to get. I don't remember who brought us the Tech helmet.
A Texas Tech fan.
Okay.
But there was a point years ago where we were the Texas Tech affiliate.
Okay. All right.
And obviously our relationship with Cliff Kingsbury has certainly been a big part of that. And you go back, who doesn't love Mike Leach? But, it makes sense. And why not? I don't mind that. I mean, quite frankly, if anybody you're a fan of and you brought his helmet, we'd probably put it up there. I mean, to be reality.
Well, absolutely. And I'm looking at Chris Bell here, and he said we're missing the best helmet there is, the Texas A&M helmet. You just can't see it, Chris. It's out of but there it is.
Well,
and we're not throwing the UT helmet
just fell
out the door.
Of the helmet?
I have I have no idea. There's a little party blower there, and something else. Looks like a fingernail file or something. Who knows what those dudes do here in the morning?
Mm-hmm.
There's no telling.
Yep.
But we do have one, Chris. So there you go.
Yep.
It's there. It's out of camera shot at the time.
So what happens? I don't know what always happens in this studio, but there are different people that come in and record and do podcasts and things. So so there's times where you come in and all the helmets have been pushed out of the way and the things are off the wall, and I mean, it's a multi-purpose room, I suppose. So that's why I don't know. It seems out of order, and the Aggie helmet isn't on the screen.
Well, yeah, and we have to kind of put things back in place where it is. So,
but we probably should. I mean, we could probably call. I think Les Goad is the head coach now at TLU. Longtime high school coach from around the area. He went up there. There's been so many. Like, remember when Carl Gustafson was coaching over there at TLU. So yeah, we should. I mean, why not?
I bet you that would not be a problem. It would not. Now, these got rearranged, these helmets, did they not? And they look like they're in different order.
I don't know what happens in this room when I walk out at 5:58 and generally walk in about 10 minutes before the show.
Uh-huh.
And, I have no idea.
All right.
I know James Pledger protects a cat. And outside of that, I have no idea.
And the Blitz board.
And the Blitz board.
Yeah.
And those helmets. I usually have to rearrange them before most shows. And Joe's chair.
And Joe's chair.
People steal chairs in this building.
Joe's a diva. Well, actually, Rob's a diva. Rob has a special chair, but he always leaves it, and then James makes sure Joe's chair is there.
Well, it's the most uncomfortable chair there is, the one Rob sits in. I don't know how he likes that thing, but he does. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
They were complaining about the helmets and how close they were the other morning.
Well, how much room does AJ need?
I mean, what do they need?
I don't know.
I mean, there's plenty of room between. Because if they're not on the camera, if they're not in the camera shot, what's the point?
I just think we need another layer.
Well, then we won't be able to see over them.
Or can we put on top of each other? We'll figure it out.
Well, doesn't another layer mean being on top of each other?
Well, or another in front. I mean, so it's a layer.
That's a Pledge problem. I mean. He'll figure out how to make it all look good on TV as we add to the collection. But I know and to the point, we asked the Gunslingers for a helmet. They brought a football. It's way up there.
Yeah, it is.
Yep. So who knows?
All right.
Redbird's Junkie says he can probably get a TLU helmet, maybe even a TLU soccer ball. And we don't need a soccer ball.
No soccer ball.
And I can promise you, it'd be great to have, but
why?
Just why not? But then all of a sudden, somebody's going to take it, and we're playing hallway soccer, and it will never actually be on the screen. Pledge would be over there doing hacky sack things with the soccer ball and break something. So soccer ball is a bad idea.
Yeah, it's a bad idea. We shouldn't do that.
It's like a football. If it were there, all of a sudden, you're throwing a football around the office.
As we should be.
Yep.
Why don't we have a football?
Well, there's 3 of them right above me. on that shelf.
I know, but those are like trophy footballs. They're not to play with.
Well, there's a bunch of footballs in our office.
There is?
Yes.
Are they trophy balls or are they regular balls?
They're in a box underneath that little table, underneath where the fridge was.
All right, we'll have to pull it out.
Sure. We can do that.
All right.
Let's do the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Brought to you by Novu Brazil Brewery in North Star Mall. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
You know, private jet life can spoil you in a hurry, right?
Big time, yes.
And you know, travel right now can be such a pain in the ass when you are flying commercial. I'm fortunate, as much as I fly, rarely have I run into anything that's just disastrous. And I'm a knock on all the wood for that. But especially, you know, there's a couple airlines that just people are always pooping on. American. But my goodness, TSA is apparently now encouraging people to bring their hammocks because you know you're going to be here a while. So if you need a nap, it's okay to put up your hammock somewhere in the airport to get your nap in.
You know, and they're showing pictures of this where people are doing that, and it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Is it?
Why in the hell would TSA do that?
TSA tweeted out, nobody said you couldn't bring a hammock to the airport. To reduce tension or to avoid having a falling out with the airport, check with them about where you can and can't hang your napping apparatus.
Yeah, well, how about nowhere? Because some idiot's going to hang it right in the middle of a walkway or I mean, you know, right by the Chick-fil-A well, not in our airport, but in somebody's airport. It's ridiculous. I mean, in these signs, please. Don't take your hammock to the airport.
Yeah,
please.
but how often have you seen people just camped out on the floor because they've been there all night?
Well, that's fine. Well, they don't need to set up a hammock.
You're not a hammock type.
Well, I love hammocks. I think they're great in my backyard or on the beach or somewhere like that, but not in an airport.
If you've got a hammock that you find a pole and two poles and you can put up your hammock, why not?
Well,
you know, make your little cocoon and don't bother me.
Yeah, you do that, Minix.
Like that one picture, I mean, it's like there's rows of chairs on either side of it. Could you imagine? Now, granted, there's nobody sitting in those chairs, but when it's full and you're trying to maneuver around the people and their luggage, and now you got a hammock in the way.
That dude's taking up 4 chairs.
And the TSA people are saying this is okay.
Yeah, no, it's not okay.
It's gotten that bad, huh?
It's a horrible idea. I've never. I say never. I have waited a long time before, but I never thought, boy, if I only had my hammock here today, it'd be great.
Yeah, but have you ever thought, wouldn't it be great if I could just go lay down somewhere?
No, not really.
Well, it's because you're going to the bar.
Well, sure. Can you hang your hammock in there?
I'm sure.
And bring your drinks?
Well, I mean, they got service for that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Bring me a drink. Come on, I'm right here in the hammock.
You might be onto something. You can open up a hammock bar at the airport.
Sure. Yeah.
People are just hanging out.
Uh-huh. Ridiculous idea.
Good work.
Ridiculous.
Speaking of air travel, there's crazy video. A touristy trap place over in China where you can take helicopter rides. And this helicopter, it's a yellow helicopter. It almost looks like the helicopters that we saw down when we were doing the Harlandale-McCollum game last year. And you see they do those helicopter tours, big old yellow helicopter. Well, this helicopter, and it's on this massive lake, and they do tours. Well, people are waiting. And the helicopter comes crashing. It crashed on 2 people.
2 people.
Now, they survived.
I don't know how these people weren't dead instantly. It's the most bizarre video, and really kind of like it even gives you a warning beforehand.
Yeah.
And just I don't know how these people survived. I really
one has
don't.
a head injury.
Well, I think they were both put in the hospital, right?
But and the people on the helicopter, they're fine.
Yeah, well, they're fine. They didn't get landed on their head. This helicopter literally goes on these people's heads.
Yeah. I mean, it lands on them. Now, I'm thinking, when helicopters are in the sky, you watch them. If that helicopter is coming to you, you move. or because it was a touristy thing, did they think that was part of the show, that they were in they were standing in a safe area if the helicopter was landing where it wanted to, but it was clear that this helicopter was out of control.
Well, I don't think they had any choice. I mean,
jump in the water.
They didn't know where the hell this helicopter was going.
I would have jumped in the water.
Well,
I mean, they're standing on a pier. Jump in the water. That helicopter is about to squash you like a bug.
Well, it did, and luckily they survived, and they're going to apparently be okay. This was in China somewhere.
Yeah. I'm not going to try to pronounce where.
Well, no, but it just suffice to say it was in China. Happy they are. They're okay.
Yes, a terrifying video.
Yes,
of crash landing on 2 people. You're not a big lottery player, right?
If it gets way up there, I'll go buy some tickets.
I mean, isn't it way up there now?
I think it is. I don't know. I haven't seen a billboard lately.
All right. I don't know how I feel about this. The U.S. Powerball jackpot is going international. Players outside the United States are now going to be able to participate in the lottery, starting with tonight's drawing. So, especially people over in the UK. There are states without lottery taxes. A winner of the current jackpot could have about $358 million. But now they're going to Powerball players in the UK. They're going to be allowed to play.
Now, as I sit here right now, it's like, okay, what's the big deal? Until one of those Brits win it, and then I'm going to be pissed. I mean, that's going to piss me off. It's going to piss off every American.
Well, now
nobody asked my opinion. Did they ask you?
No,
or anybody else? I'm wondering. No, I don't want to do that.
What I don't understand though is in this article it says for people in the United States the odds of winning won't change.
Well, how does that happen?
Exactly.
Well, of course it will change.
I mean, there's differences between the U.S. and U.K. tickets. American tickets, Powerball explains, on its frequently asked questions page will remain $2, whereas the British tickets cost £4, which equal about $5.35.
I always find that weird. It's 10 pounds. 10 pounds of what? It's nuts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as somebody wins it over there, you're going to see an uproar.
An uproar.
I
mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Mike Golick coming back to ESPN Radio, and
it says so right here.
Yeah, except for it's I think Golick and Golick, right?
Yes.
Not Mike and Mike.
No, is it Mike Jr.?
Yeah, but the show's going to be Golick and Golick because Mike and Mike is a legendary show name.
I got you.
And it had a legendary divorce. Although now that he's back with the company, Golick not closing the door on any kind of reunion with Mike Greenberg. Never say never. Now, Greeny isn't going to be on the Golicks on a regular basis, but we could get those two back on the radio again.
I think it'd be great. I think they had one of the best radio shows there was.
Hall of Famers.
And it was great. So I would love to see that happen. We'll see if it does or not, but I don't know. I would love to. I found that interesting. There's and I'm looking at this and it looks like it's true. Adam Schefter is reporting the Ravens have waived Diego Pavia.
Huh, shocker.
Already.
Before camp.
So interesting. As good of a player as he was, what is Diego? 5'4"? I mean, he's not very tall.
Maybe a little taller than 5'4", but not much.
Not much. And I got nothing against short guys. You know that with, Deuce Vaughn and Diego Pavia. It's tough for those guys in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna try and verify that, but it looks like a legit Schefter tweet. Diego Pavia gone already. How do you cut a guy already?
I mean, camp is starting.
Well,
I mean, they officially signed Mendoza, so one in, one out.
Well, it's with the Ravens.
Oh, the Ravens. I thought you said Raiders.
No, the Ravens.
All right. Well, all right. We got through mini camps. Go find a job, young man.
I guess
we're doing you a favor.
That's it.
We'll cut you now.
Somebody else may pick him up. We'll see what happens. We're going to talk more college football, though, coming up because in just a few minutes, the head coach of the UIW Cardinals will be on with us, Clint Killough. In the meantime, Steve Sarkisian was at SEC Media Days today. We'll hear from the coach when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Star is sending our boys to see the boys. Our AA Best Bail Bonds coverage of Dallas Cowboys training camp in Oxnard, California begins Monday afternoon, August 3rd at 2. Sponsored in part by Southern Recipe Pork Rinds and AARP San Antonio. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Headline Blitz is brought to you by Novo Brewery, San Antonio's newest sports watching destination with over 80 feet of video walls, 60 craft beers, and hard kombucha on tap. A full bar and delicious menu. Novo Brewery is attached to North Star Mall and open late hours. San Antonio's newest sports headquarters is Novo Brewery. We're talking over 80 feet of massive video walls, a lineup of craft beers, and hard kombucha on tap. Novo Brewery, juicy, thick-cut ribeye steaks, picanha prime sirloin, Brazilian empanadas, stacked burgers, and more. Novo Brewery, built for fans, friends, and full-on game day energy. Novo Brewery, attached to North Star Mall with late hours. Check out the menu and taps at novobrew.com. That's novobrew.com.
Move over, Chips. There's a new crunchier MVP in the snack aisle. Enter pork rinds. Southern Recipe pork rinds are low-carb, gluten-free, and packed with protein to keep you going. And the flavors, big, bold, crunchy. From sweet barbecue to hot honey, every bite brings that flavor-packed crunch you crave. Grab your favorites today at H-E-B or online at porkrinds.com. Southern Recipe pork rinds are your snack time, crunch time hero.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The greatest shopping event of the summer is here. Macy's Black Friday and July sale is back, where you'll find 40 to 60% savings on all the hottest summer fashion and more. Don't wait. Get first dibs on everything you love about Black Friday shopping, from unbeatable sales across the store to curated styles for the season at lower than low prices. Head to Macy's now for a fun-filled holiday shopping adventure smack dab in the middle of summer. It's the can't-miss sale of the month, Black Friday and July at Macy's. Savings off select prices. Exclusions apply.
From the people who brought you It's the Dog Park comes.
Your dog is limping, but she seems fine. Plus, you've heard they can fake it just to get what they want. So what's the deal now? You're being gaslit.
Protect your dog from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance.
Oh, now she switched legs. What a diva.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms.
When you first saw her, she was out walking her dog. You didn't notice her at first. But when you finally did, it was too late. Because at that moment, you were speeding. She was out walking her dog and only had a second to let go of the leash. Your foot was on the gas, and her life was on the line. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Let me tell you about the Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite. It's bright, it's bubbly, it's back.
The Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich, it's so rich, and you can choose between the original or the spicy filet.
Ooh, boy.
And then you got those pickled jalapenos tucked right under the filet, and then just to top it all off, you've got a little honey drizzle right on top.
Okay, now I'm a pimento fan.
And I'm feeling the dragon fruit.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
San Antonio is Aggie country. This is Andrew Monaco, and you're listening to the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's a college football takeover on the Blitz today here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He's Jason Minix. UTSA head coach Jeff Traylor was on with us, about 30 minutes ago. And Clint Killough, the head coach of UIW, will join us here in about 15 minutes or so, 10 minutes or so. Looking forward to that. In the meantime, Jason, the SEC media days continue, and it was a Texas Longhorn takeover.
Well, again, I mean, it was Sark's day on the podium. It's interesting, the SEC with so many teams, and they kind of save the bigger names or the best for the end of the week. And, all Longhorns all day today. And, of course, from Nick Saban to Paul Feinbaum talking about how the Longhorns are expected to go win a national championship, and they can go win the national championship. Well, Sark on SportsCenter talked about how he has to deal with those outside expectations.
The standard is a standard at the University of Texas, and it doesn't matter what sport. We compete for championships. It doesn't matter what conference we're in. We're competing for conference championships. We're competing for national championships, and this year's no different for us. Okay, so I know there's expectations of what we're supposed to be outside of our organization, but I can promise you they're higher within. We've got a very hungry football team. We understand we're a talented football team. It's not a secret, but we've got to make that come to life. Right? We've got to continue to come together as a football team. We've got to show that we can respond to adversity. We've got to show that we can go win those games, those big games on the road, those big games in December and ultimately into January. And that's what this team is going to be tasked with from week one moving forward. And so it's exciting because I like the team, but now we got to go put it on the field and make it come to life.
And that's it. I mean, you can have all the high expectations you want, but until you play a football game, do you really know exactly what you have and how it's going to come together?
Well, and that's what it's about. And, of course, Arch has to perform at that high level. And the expectations for Arch Manning from the moment he chose Texas while he was in high school to when he got on campus, but he has struggled. But Sark talked about, he has struggled, but he's also grown quite a bit.
Arch Manning a year ago wasn't on social media or on television saying, I'm going to be the first pick of the draft. He wasn't on television saying, I'm going to win the Heisman Trophy. All he did was work really hard. All he did was try to be the best teammate he can be. And then we had some failures as a team. He didn't play to the way of what he was capable of playing. And then those same people that were saying that about him wanted to criticize and demean him almost for letting them down because he didn't live up to what they thought he was going to be. Very interesting concept right there. And I think the way of what he got put through probably would have melted or destroyed 99% of people in his shoes. All he did was stay consistent to true to who he was, which continue to work hard, continue to be a great teammate, try to get better, and he did. And he came out and played the second half of the season at a really high level. We go 7-1. He's got 20 touchdowns, only 2 turnovers. He's a fantastic player at the end of the year. But he didn't go back on social media and say, I told you so. And all he's done this year is continue to work hard again. And so there's always going to be outside opinions of that guy. And that comes with the territory, and he understands that. But I think he learned a lot about himself last year, about dealing with adversity and overcoming. And I think he learned a lot about his teammates and the support that they gave him, and them recognizing the mental and physical toughness that he has to play the position, to be their leader. And I think that he's grown into a great leader for us. And so I'm very proud of Arch for the way he's carried himself, the way he represents the University of Texas. I think right now he's a very dangerous player because he learned a lot from last season, and he's surrounded by some good players. And I think that he's a guy that's poised for a heck of a season.
Well, and that's the expectation, isn't it? Everybody's expecting Arch Manning coming into year 3 to be the Arch Manning that everybody thought he was going to be back when he started his rookie campaign at Texas. And I think he's got to. I think this is the year he's got to show that he's the real deal. And it's going to be interesting to see. I think he's got a hell of a team around him, but it's got to be this year, Jason, I think, because if there's struggles this year, that doubt and that stuff is going to creep in, and it's going to be unfortunate for him.
The term Sark used there, it's interesting, melted most people, destroy them. Just watching Arch and the way he is carrying himself, the calmness, the just comfortable nature in which, doing podiums. His early press conferences when he was 18. I mean, not everybody is used to that. He's got the last name Manning, that's one thing, but he was from a small high school in New Orleans, and he's always had attention, but not quite the same spotlight that is you're a Manning and you're at UT. And I think Sark is right. Between his ears, he had to figure that out. And again, it's July, but he seems a lot more comfortable at media days this year than some of his other media sessions that we've seen him before. In the weapons that they have there in Austin, I mean, dude's got some wide receivers to throw to. His offensive line, they're all massive. He's got to get it done. But I think Saban said something earlier, and Sark kind of said it. Arch has the ability, but athletic ability, mentally, is he able to withstand it? And he certainly seems like he's grown into those shoes.
Well, in the way that he played at the end of last season, you heard Sark say it. Texas went 7-1, and I think the confidence of being able to get it done, and I think that's huge for a quarterback, obviously. And so, if he brings that confidence into this year, then Texas is going to be okay, and they're going to be competing for a national championship.
And to do that, though, they're going to have to get by Georgia. And you can argue who's the team to beat in the SEC? Is it Texas or is it Georgia?
Well,
there's a lot of sayings and quotes in the sports world in particular, but this one probably is the most fitting. If you want to be the champion, you got to beat the champion. And it's no more fitting for us. We've played Georgia 3 times. They've beaten us. All the credit in the world to Kirby, their team. They're tough. They're good. So if we want to be a champion, I'm guessing we'll probably have to beat the champion to make that happen.
And I think he's absolutely right. We talked about it. Texas and Georgia don't meet up in the regular season, but you can bet your behind that they will meet up in the postseason, whether that's the SEC championship game or even perhaps the playoffs. So it's going to be interesting to see. We'll talk more about Texas, obviously, more about UTSA, but guess what? The next segment belongs to UIW. That's right. Clint Killough is going to join us next in studio here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Let me talk to you about my friends at Stevens Roofing, though, first, because, I love these folks. They're really good people. Family-owned company, local company, and my goodness, they do such a great job, and you don't have to take my word for it. Let me tell you this fact. They've been in business here in San Antonio and South Texas since 1983. That should tell you everything you need to know about Stevens Roofing. Now they've added solar to what they do. So if you've been thinking about solar panels, Stevens Roofing and Solar is the company you need to call because they will take care of you. 210-785-0994. If you think you've got a problem with your roof, we had a lot of rain here over the last couple of weeks, and you never know what kind of damage that might have caused. If you suspect something or you just want to get it checked out, Stevens Roofing and Solar, give them a call. 210-785-0994. They'll send a crew out to your house. They'll check your roof. They'll do it for free, and they'll let you know if there's anything up there that needs to be fixed, replaced, or whatever. Look, you're hoping to catch a small problem before it turns into a big problem. That's the goal of Stevens Roofing and Solar as well. Give them a call. Don't put it off. 210-785-0994, or you can get them online at stevensroofing.net.
Got a buddy who thinks he knows baseball? Perfect. On Rangers game days, prove it with the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. Pick the Ranger you think will launch it out of here. He hits 1, you and a friend are headed to a Rangers game. He hits 2. Now, you've got tickets and hotel. Yeah, you're making a night of it, and your buddy's buying the first round. Wake up with the Morning Huddle. Call your shot and win the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149. Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well,
Trying to find a needle in a haystack? Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. Whether your pain started yesterday or years ago, we treat the root cause so you can feel real relief fast. No pills, no surgery. Most patients notice improvement in just one visit, and we accept most insurance plans. Stop waiting. Start feeling better. Visit Arasti.com today. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti. We fix pain fast.
To find the location nearest you, visit Arasti.com.
If there's one thing you can count on, it's 24/7 protection when you bundle home.
Back here on the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Happy to have you along on this Thursday afternoon. I'm Joe Reinagel. He's Jason Minix, and we're talking a little college football.
It's fun, getting, especially when you're talking college football this time of year. Coaches are relaxed. They're not mad as hell about everything, especially Clint Killough, who's joining us now in studio. So if you're watching on YouTube, check it out. Incarnate Word. How many years now for you? 2, 3?
Going into year 4.
Year 4.
Year 4 as a head football coach.
Yep,
was an assistant for 4 prior to that, and going into my 4th as a head coach.
Man,
wow!
And it looks like you could still be playing over there.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
You have an age.
I got some gray hairs that pop out every now and then.
Do you now?
So I appreciate that.
Well, and being a football coach, they will probably after every season you're going to see more of those gray hairs, without a doubt.
100%. I'm sorry. I'm trying to embrace them. So once they outnumber the brown ones, I'll just give up.
Well, see, that's what Jeff Traylor apparently has done. Did you see the photo of Traylor that he posted the other day? He and his wife celebrating their 35th anniversary.
I didn't.
Dude, look, well, I'll find it while we're talking. And he's got a full head of hair, but honestly, he looks like Larry Hill 30 years ago.
I'm not kidding. It's crazy. When I saw the picture, I turned to Jason. I said, "That's Larry Hill."
Wow. Wow. We had. So Kurt Traylor was at our camp yesterday. His son Cole was at camp and competing and everything. So that was my trailer fix for the week. So I got to see Kurt, but I didn't see Jeff on Twitter. So
Pledge is trying to find the photo. He'll
Yeah,
put it.
we'll
It's
find it.
only for us in studio, and which is great. But everybody else can play along. And you look at. Does that not look like Larry Hill?
Doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. What year was that?
35 years ago.
Whatever that is, 35 years ago. His wife hasn't changed a bit.
91?
I guess so, something like
Yeah,
that.
well, because I got married. Yesterday was my 31st anniversary. Thank you. I mean, you're not even 31 years old. Think about that.
Well, actually, I'm 33.
Are you 33 now?
I turned 33 back in June. So
wow.
They hired me when I was 29.
Time flies.
I mean, because I think about this will be my 29th year of high school football, and games that I called when they were in high school that are now in their 40s, and I'm calling some of their kids' games. I'm not that old. It can't be real.
Oh, it's pretty wild. I mean, we go through the evaluation process, and we got our arms account, and we'll go through the pipeline of watching kids' films and evaluating their transcripts and everything. And then I look at the transcript, and I start seeing these numbers, and there's no 90s babies anymore.
That's
And
right.
I'm thinking to myself, like, wow, that's probably an indication I'm starting to move along with this time.
Yeah.
Thing,
I know it's really crazy. Well, Clint, what are you doing right? What occupies your day right now? I know camp's coming up next week. So what are you doing preparing for that?
Yeah. So the beginning of this week, we were in Houston. The Southland Conference had their media days. They've been doing it in conjunction with Texas High School Football Coaches Association, which has been a cool deal. Obviously, it's a networking event. It's one of the best events. I mean, Texas high school football is Texas high school football.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anytime you can get a collection of those human beings and those mentors together, it's awesome. And I'm fortunate to be able to do that, and at the same time knock out the media day stuff, which is something that I'm just kind of, you would think a young guy would like that, but it's just kind of nails on a chalkboard for me. If I'm being totally honest, I'd rather sit at the desk with you guys and just spitball it out. But we did that deal. The guys are finishing up their workouts this week, so tomorrow will be the last day of summer workouts. They'll run in the morning and they'll lift throughout the day. I had a couple guys try to see if we could cut the week short, but I'm not with that.
Oh, come on. It's July.
I gave them a couple days extra in the 4th of July week because I heard about that one too. So they ain't getting this one. But we'll finish the week out, and then we will be everybody will be off Monday, Tuesday, and then we report Wednesday, and we'll go through our compliance meetings. Our training staff will do their thing, all that kind of stuff. And so really, starting tomorrow, it's going to be good for me from Friday to Tuesday to just kind of be with myself and my own thoughts. The skeleton and, most of the meat and potatoes are pretty set from a planning perspective for fall camp. I've already done my due diligence and made the tweaks that I wanted to make. That's one of the things I wanted to make sure I did this year is really do a good job of analyzing where we could make changes. The process had been the process for us for so long just because of how much success we've had. So I really wanted to go through and comb through and make sure I made some tweaks in some areas. But there's parts of it, for example, like discussion topics. I do a series where the coaches get in front of the players and they have, in front of the team, and they have a topic of discussion. I haven't changed that topic of discussion since I've been a head football coach. And I wanted to put a little bit more thought into it, a little bit more intention, so I could really create that connectivity and just things like that, so I could really be with myself and go step by step, day by day, hour by hour, and really walk myself through from July 29th all the way until we get to August 29th and we're playing our first game.
Topic of discussion.
Yeah.
What are the topics?
Oh, look at you, man. I hope my players aren't. They don't listen to the radio. they got iPads.
No, they listen.
iPod,
Trust me.
We're on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
they'll find us.
There you go. I'll give you one. So in the past couple of years, our culture, and I'm not a big slogan. I don't like to put a bunch of stuff on the walls, and I'm just not a huge slogan guy. I think it's just the resolution on it goes pretty thin. So I've kept it pretty standard the entire time. I haven't changed it. It's win with intention. That's what our culture is based on. Okay, and there's some principles that come with that: detail, effort, love, and trust. Okay, I think there's details in everything we do. I think you got to put the effort forward. I think the love has to be shown before the trust is created. Okay, so that's been what our culture is built on. And our series going into camp the last 3 years has pretty much been each coach just gets a pillar. You know what I mean? The coordinators will talk about win with intention because that's the overarching motto, and then I'll have each one of the coaches hit the pillars. And I think it's, I kind of started to have these thoughts last year that was a little redundant, and I felt like we could puncture the surface a little bit more with some more real life things. I could probably shrink that down into a couple days, and then, for example, make a coach answer the question of, talk about the one person in your life that's made the most impact. That's profound.
Yeah,
sure.
That's intimate. Yeah. That's connective. That's relatability, and I've really got that connectiveness and that relatability. I've been listening to a lot of interviews and podcasts from Clark Lee. We share an agent, so I've been fortunate. Last summer, I was able to have some conversations over the phone with Will Muschamp, kind of in a mentorship role. So I've been really blessed with those guys at CAA that have helped me out tremendously and just kind of making some connections and stuff. But I've become a little bit enamored with Clark Lee's approach this offseason, and just kind of picking those pieces and seeing how he approaches things. But he talks about their relatedness being their edge, how connected they are of being their competitive edge to other teams, and I really just was fond of that idea. So I'm trying to create that as much as I can.
Well, Clint, that's interesting, and you answered part of my question that I was going to ask. When you talk about developing a culture and the things that you're talking about here, how much do you pull from other coaches that you've been associated with? You said Will Muschamp and Clark Lee, and how much of it do you put in new and fresh?
Yeah. Well, I think that's got to be your core. I think that it has to be unique to yourself. You have to have your own touch and your own flavor. But I just don't think that you can ever stop growing, ever stop learning, ever stop kind of peeling things. I think that, we got a little bit complacent. We got a little bit redundant last year, and that's just me being critical of myself. But it'll always be my spin. When I get up there and I start talking, it's going to be me. It's going to be authentic. I will never be cookie cutter, but I do believe in pulling inspiration from areas. There's some things that I don't agree with from Clark and Will Muschamp and all these guys, which they've been much more successful in their careers than me. But I do think that it's important that you kind of have a sprinkle of inspiration onto your own, fingerprint.
Yeah.
Clint Killough joining us here in studio on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star, head football coach over at UIW. You mentioned some of those coaches. You were just at coaching school. The segment before, we're playing audio from Sark over at SEC Media Days, and I know all the Division I coaches are down there for a day at Texas High School Coaches Association, so you get to visit with Sark or a Mike Elko or Joe Mel. But it sounds like the messaging is kind of the same. Sark building his culture or Elko building his culture. I love it when coaches are talking about stuff that isn't necessarily X's and O's, because that's building of men.
100%. I mean, it's a 24/7 job building culture. There's no blueprint to it. It's just fluid. It's a consistent effort. I mean, culture is never instilled. It's always you're instilling it, if that makes sense. And there's so much fluidity in college football. We lost double-digit players last year to the FBS. We lost 2 coordinators. We lost an offensive line coach. I mean, heck, when I took the job, we lost 66 players and all 10 full-time coaches.
Oh, wow.
So you're always instilling. And I think that part of that, if you're really instilling something with a good base and a good foundation, you just got to be yourself, because these players are like walking lie detectors. I mean, they see right through it, and there's a ton of distractions. There's a ton of things that come with college football. But I do think that the relationship piece is still important. Now, it comes in different forms, and maybe it used to be viewed as the relationships equated to them always staying with you, or just being true to just old school,
Yep.
I think it comes in different forms. I think probably a great example of that is a kid like Roy Alexander. I don't know if y'all have seen that story on Roy, but Roy was he had 100 catches and 1,100 yards in 2024 from us. He was a transfer guy for us, was a rock star, an AP All-American, ends up going to Texas Tech. You know what comes with going to Texas Tech, off the field and all those sorts of things. And I hugged him on the way out the door because I knew what that did for him. He's got a toddler young son. I knew it came with that. It didn't work out there. Well, now he's back on our roster.
Nice.
So that's, in my opinion, that's culture.
Yeah.
That's a relationship. It's like, hey, coach, I got one more shot at this thing. And I know what you can do. Now, there's another example would be Jalen Walthall last year. So those two guys are a tandem at All-American in 2024 at receiver. Roy goes to Texas Tech. Walthall says, you know what, I'm sticking put. I know I'm going to get the rock. I know this is my best chance. Well, now he's up in New York with the Jets, and he starts minicamp on Monday.
See, that's awesome. I love stories like that. And when you're talking about the Southland Conference, Clint, and I mean UIW is expected to do well every year. Unfortunately, last year was a rough year. How do you, as a coach and a young coach, grow and learn from the disappointment of last year?
Shut the door and look in the mirror that's across the room. It's a pretty tough deal for a young guy, for a competitor. I pride myself on my competitiveness, always have, always will. That's how I was raised. That's how my father was. You know, I think that gets you a far ways in life. But, yeah, just being brutally honest with yourself and being willing to be critical enough to change, you know, and listening to other people's critiques of yourself, you know, and just having an open mind with it, which is tough. It's like shedding skin, to be totally honest with you. You know, and last year, I mean, you look at it, guys, and I talked about how much we lost when I took the job, and we go 20-5 in the first 2 years when no one predicted we would continue that success. Let's just be completely honest about that. No one was buying low with us.
Yeah.
And then we do what we do when no one thinks that we will. We won the conference outright for the first time in school history, highest seed going into the playoffs. Well, now everybody's buying when it's high. It's funny how that relates to the market. I got a finance degree, so I know how that works. Well, when you buy high and that thing doesn't go to the next level, everybody's pissed off. And I get it, and I get it, and I understand it, and it's warranted. Now, what I will say with that is those expectations that were created for us. One, I'm glad we had them because I want them. I warned them. It's like okay. I'm gonna meet these and I'm gonna do you better. That's my mentality with it. Now, those are not adjusted for the things that happen in a calendar year, in my opinion.
Sure.
And there's a lot that can happen in a calendar year, especially considering that there was 2 transfer portal windows.
Which sucks. Every coach hates them.
Especially in you know, I think FCS football is extremely pure. I really do, and I love it. And I love the competitiveness of it. But that 2 portal window really makes you feel sometimes like you're a good credit junior college. Because you can't stop the communication. There's a lot of lines of it.
Yep.
And you better hope that you've done a good job of instilling that culture, which would look like when these kids come into my office and they say, hey, coach, they're saying that I got this opportunity possibly. What do you think, coach? You know, so that fluidity. So, you know, we had those huge expectations in January, but then you go and you lose 2 coordinators. You lose an offensive line coach. You have 10 guys go to the FBS, 5 of which go Power 4 in May.
Wow.
So there's a lot that happens, and as a competitor, you're like, man, okay, bet. I mean, even better.
Yeah.
Watch this.
Yeah.
You know, and that's probably a little bit of arrogance and ego, and that's one of those things that you look in the mirror and you're like, maybe you're not Superman, buddy. You know, and I'm just being honest with you. But I think if you look at it the right way, and I was raised the right way, I had 2 wonderful parents that you know, they raised the right son to look in the mirror and fix himself for the betterment, you know, and that's what I did.
Well, you think about the expectations for Incarnate Word football, also now known as a quarterback factory. I mean, you know, Cam Moore doesn't hurt that at all.
Amen.
But the offenses that you guys have had, you know, from Eric Morse since, always high flying. So I'm not doing my job if I don't ask who the quarterback is. I know you're not going to answer, but quarterback play is going to be back where Cardinal fans expect it to be, is it not?
Amen. and to be honest with you, it was great last year. I think E.J. Colston, obviously, you know, after the first couple games, we had some issues and had to make a quarterback change, and I thought E.J. played great as he came in as a redshirt freshman. He went on. He was one of the guys. He went on to UTEP. He'll be their starting quarterback. He was just named the other day. So we continue that quarterback factory.
Yep.
Tradition.
Great that you're developing quarterbacks for other places, isn't it?
Ain't no doubt, man. Ain't no doubt. I'm becoming privy to the fact that attrition is a healthy thing. You gotta
keep telling yourself that, right?
Yes.
I'll tell you what. In 2025, I was trying to figure that out, and it didn't feel too healthy.
Yeah.
But I've come to that place now. So no, at the quarterback position, I love where we're at. To be honest with you, we got 3 guys that I think are capable to go out there and win us football games. I'll start with the young pup in the room. We signed Jackson Fields. He was an early enrollee freshman. We signed him out of Destrehan High School.
Out of where?
In Destrehan High School in Louisiana.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Okay.
So he came to a camp, fell in love with them. I think that he operates at a really high level. He got here in January, so his body has changed tremendously in the last 7 months. I think he has an extremely bright future. We signed David Razor. He was a backup for 2 years at UC Davis.
That's a quarterback name right there.
Oh,
isn't
ain't
it?
no doubt. Ain't no
David
doubt.
Razor, yeah.
And he's chomping at the bit, man. I think he's a great leader. He operates at a high level. He's tough. He's like, Coach, let's go live. That's the first time I ever heard a quarterback ask me to go live in the spring. Coach, I'm better when I go live, And I'm thinking, man, maybe I should have went live last fall camp too, So David is he's ready to be a starting quarterback, I think. And then we signed Emmett Brown, who's kind of been a little bit of a journeyman. He's got the most snaps in college football of the group. He was the starter at San Jose State in 2024 and really had a good run there. And he's been around some guys that I know in the profession that have that I got a lot of respect for. I mean, his first semester in college, funny story, was the spring of 2022 when Eric Morris and Cameron Ward showed up in Pullman.
Mm-hmm.
And so who do you think one of the first guys I called about Emmett was?
Yeah, yeah.
Eric, and I shot Cam a text.
Yep.
And so Cam had some good things to say. Let's see if I can.
We're pulling up his phone.
I love that.
Yeah, let's see. What did Cam Ward? Yeah, let's see. Yeah, do you do that on recruiting trips too? Yeah. All right. Look, I just got a text from the #1 draft pick. Let's see.
He said he can sling it. He's a great leader. Everything. Just never really got a chance. Besides when he played at San Jose, got hurt, but he's really nice.
No, that's pretty good report.
Yeah,
not bad.
I'll take that.
We'll see what Cam knows.
Yeah, I'm curious, Clint, and I asked this because everybody talks about the quarterback and the competition and what. Are you a guy that goes into, say, the camp next week and everybody earns their job?
To a degree. Now, I would be lying to you if I didn't already have some preconceived notions. Just
Sure.
Because, I mean, if I didn't, then what have I been doing the last 7 months? I haven't been evaluating anything, and apparently I've been that's what the coach's line.
Yeah.
Oh, we're always evaluating. We're always watching. Okay, well then I'm going to go in with a little bit of preconceived notion, especially if you played snaps for me before.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Now, with that being said, when you see that movement or that flash or whatever the case may be, then I think that you have to be open and minded enough to make the changes where you got to make changes. And I felt like my mind wasn't as open last year probably as in years past. That's something that I could appreciate from your Eric Morrises and your GJs and myself in the past. And I don't know where I got away from that, to be honest with you, but that's been something that I've really been key on. Man, just go out there and play ball. Just when you're at recess and you're throwing the football around and a new kid shows up and you're like, man, that kid can play a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's see how we can make this work and how this can be better. And so just always being free flowing in that thought process and just as fluid as these rosters are,
Yeah.
Good stuff.
That is great
Can't
stuff.
wait for a season. And I see you brought in addition to our the peer pressure has finally gotten to you guys.
Yeah, man. I saw the helmets on the table and I'm like, where's that red bird at?
That is a good looking helmet.
Yeah, so we had the red stripes and the red face masks in the past, so I just decided to change it up a little bit.
I like the white helmet.
I do too.
I can tell you that if you're watching on YouTube, you can see the newest addition to our helmet collection here for the San Antonio Sports Star studio, and I'm just glad you guys have fixed the uniforms. I don't know if you know this because you're too young, but I think the second year that Incarnate Word Football was around, I was doing the play-by-play. Trent Rios was the running back.
Okay,
oh, yeah.
Smithson Valley legend.
Absolutely. And those were the worst uniforms.
Oh man, they were New Balance, weren't they?
They were black jerseys with deep red numbers. You couldn't see those numbers through binoculars. It was awful.
Well, I'll tell you.
I'm glad you guys have upped the uniform game.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you this. When I was coming out of high school, I'll never forget them coming to recruit me, and this probably will make me sound a little arrogant, but I wasn't the nicest high school recruit in terms of wanting to play at Incarnate Word, and it's come full circle. So I hear you on the uniforms. That was part of my disdain for
well, then I remember you thought you were going to go play, at a much higher level. The good news is they haven't changed the locker room since you were a player there.
That is a fact. That is a fact. That is a fact.
It's not really a compliment either.
No, but it is a fact. And hey, I embrace it. I got some new carpet.
No, that's nice.
And a couple TVs.
Perfect.
Wonder where those came from.
A garage sale down in Alamo Heights. Hey, we went to an estate sale.
They come with a remote. That's an upgrade.
That's it. You don't have to go change the channel yourself.
Amen.
Good stuff, Clint. Man, appreciate you coming in.
Doubt.
Great
of luck
seeing
this
you.
Season.
Have a great season.
Yeah, absolutely. Clint Killough, head coach at UIW, and that might be the best looking helmet on the table. I'm just saying.
It is right now, right? You're saying that right now.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, I'm just saying. I just spitting it out there.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot more to do, a lot more football talk to happen here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Hey, I know it's hot outside. I get that, but you know what? It's never too hot to go play a little golf, is it? I mean, my goodness. That's what we do here in San Antonio and South Texas, that's for sure. And the best place to get that done is the Golf Club of Texas. It is an outstanding place, and that place right now, after all the rain we've had, is just about as plush as you can imagine. Looks like a private country club. It's not, though. Open to the public 7 days a week, and, well, again, some of the best course conditions in town and the friendliest staff as well. And when you head out there, you want to go and make sure you've got time for some lunch or dinner after the round, whatever the case may be. The 10th Cup Bar and Grill is a great place to go. The food is outstanding out there. They've got a full bar out there, so any kind of cocktail you want them to whip up, they can do that. They've got a huge beer selection as well, so you can have one inside and then pack up a bunch to take with you out on the golf course. It is a fantastic place. And I wanted to let you know that the 10 Cup Bar and Grill is open every night until 9 o'clock. And, oh, by the way, if you don't have time to go play golf but you want to work on your game, they have a lighted driving range that's open till 11 o'clock, 7 days a week. Great place to go, whether you want to play some golf, whether you want to have a good dinner, or you want to do both. The Golf Club of Texas. You know exactly where it is. Right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90, whether you're headed out there for dinner at the 10 Cup or round with your buddies. How about your next tournament? You want to go check them out because the best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers, this is KTFM Floresville.
You know, the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch any big game, any big event, and the Roo Pub is growing. Heading to the coast, the Roo Pub Rockport is open and rocking. And just in time for football, Roo Pub number 3 will be opening somewhere in the greater San Antonio area. Details coming soon. Follow Ingram Bar Group on social media or go to ingrambargroup.com. And of course, the OG Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road, just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. We'll see you at the Roo.
Life is meant to be lived in motion, in the moment, on the go. If a sports injury or chronic pain threatens to slow you down, hold you back, or take you out of the game, Christus Health is here, right where you live, with complete personalized orthopedic care. Because you have a lot of games to play, miles to go, and life to live. Christus Health, your life, our purpose. Find care near you at christushealth.org.
San Antonio's newest sports headquarters, Novo Brewery. Craft beers, full bar, hard kombucha on tap, a handcrafted food menu, and massive LED screens. Attached to North Star Mall with late hours. Visit novobrew.com. That's novobrew.com.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Onyx, I keep having stomach issues. Please make me a doctor's appointment.
Okay, are you suffering from diarrhea, bloating, gas, or oily stools? If so, you may want to ask your doctor if it could actually be a problem with your pancreas, called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI.
My pancreas? How is EPI treated?
A prescription medicine like Creon, pancrelipase, is used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes. Creon is the #1 prescribed treatment for EPI.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor, and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. You can learn more at 1-800-633-9110.
Before your appointment, visit creoninfo.com. That's CREON info.com.
Dave Ramsey here, and I love my Kinetico water softener. Right now, with the purchase of a Kinetico water softener, you receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink, complete with a color fixture to match your kitchen. That means cleaner, better tasting water for coffee, cooking, ice, and everyday drinking. The Kinetico K5 drinking water station removes up to 99% of many contaminants and can be customized for your home. So instead of buying bottled water or wondering what's really coming out of your tap, you get cleaner, great tasting water right where you use it most. A Kinetico runs on energy from your water flow, which means no electricity, no timer, and no computer that can break. With its twin tank system, you get soft water 24/7. Call Kinetico of San Antonio and the Hill Country for a free water test at 210-656-PURE. And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
ConeticoSA.com.
License number 38961.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the NFL Network's James Slater is reporting the Houston Texans running back David Montgomery expected to lead the Texans' backfield in carries. With second-year running back Woody Marks, well, building on what he did last year and all the success he had, hoping to get a significant amount of reps, but it will be Montgomery, the lead back. Speaking of running backs who used to play for Houston, how about Joe Mixon? Well, according to KPRC, his career just might be over.
SportsCenter brought to you by SAPDcareers.com. The San Antonio Police Department is always hiring.
From the studios of San Antonio's Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Blitz. 2 decades on the radio, Jason Minix. 2 decades on TV, Joe Reinagel. 2 San Antonio sports voices you've trusted for years. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Doing it on a Thursday. So happy you decided to spend a little time with us here on The Blitz. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He's Jason Minix, and we appreciate you guys and certainly appreciate Clint Killough, the head coach of UIW, not only for a damn good-looking helmet, but for a great time and a great interview.
It is a great-looking helmet.
It is. It really is. I'm telling you, I'm just saying, no offense to anybody that's up there, that might be the best-looking helmet in the lot. I know your Longhorns showing over there, but that's, dude, it's been the same for, 100 years. Kind of like your Cowboys. They never change.
Oh, stop.
Why, they don't?
You don't have to change perfection.
Is that what it is? 30 years of perfection, huh?
Here we go.
Just saying. When did Vince Young run that football in? When was that?
2005.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
2006.
Yeah. Okay.
The 2005 season.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's about, 19 years ago? 10, 20?
More recent than the Cowboys.
Something like that. Yeah, true. Very true.
How is it everything pooping on the Cowboys?
I'm just asking.
Tell me when your Titans are doing something, or pledge when your Texans do something.
I'm stating facts.
I mean, keep in mind, the Texans are 25 years old?
Yep.
The Cowboys had a couple of Super Bowls before their 25th birthday.
It's about what have you done for me lately, Jason.
Okay.
I mean, it's not about
the goalpost. Why
not
don't you?
about history.
We're talking about UIW. It's a great-looking helmet.
It is.
Great coach.
Yes.
Based on the comments I'm seeing on YouTube, you guys really enjoyed the conversation with Clint Killough. And again, I've known Clint when he was a high schooler here and player
days,
there.
yeah.
And you know, you're excited for somebody like that getting the opportunity because you knew before he knew he was going to be a great coach. You know, there's just certain people that you're around and you know, and you hear from other people, yeah, that guy's going to be this or that. And somebody in my position, you start looking at him, yeah, you know what, I could see that. And hearing him talk about, every coach talks about their culture and how do you build the culture. And I think he's right. And it can get lost on some people because you hear every coach talk about it. He had a player leave for a lot of money in Lubbock. It didn't work. And that happens a lot. We've heard a lot of stories, you know, whether, you know, Jeff Traylor had a receiver left and, you know, and all of a sudden they're on a milk carton. You never hear from him again, right?
Yep.
That guy, all right, where's your next stop? I'm going back.
Yeah.
That tells you a lot about the culture at Incarnate Word, and you can listen to him. And he's 33, right? I can't believe he's only 33.
His future's bright.
And I can't believe he's 33, if that makes sense. But you can understand where I want my kid to go play for that guy.
Yeah, well, look, his future's bright. You know, just like G.J. Kinney, just like Eric Morris. I mean, it's a great spot. He's going to do great things, and then he will get some opportunities to move up that ladder, and that's just the way that it is. And I guarantee you, he'll be in the same spot as the Eric Morrises and the G.J. Kinneys. There's no question about it.
And you know, when you look over at UIW as they get ready to kick off this season, you know, they got to hire a new athletic director.
That's true.
You know, Richard Duran left to go to Northern Arizona, and we get into that with Clint during the interview for obvious reasons. It's above his pay grade. He's not doing the hiring, but you always, especially at a school the size of UIW, although I imagine anywhere, anytime, hell, even here, you get a new boss and then you wonder what's going to change because new bosses want to do things their way.
Mm-hmm.
But the success that they've had and that he's had, he's fine. Just go win football games.
Well, that's it. And he's done that. Obviously, they stumbled a little bit last year, but the first 2 years he was there, successful. What he said, they lost 5 games in those 2 years. I mean, that's unbelievable what he's done. And the most impressive thing about what he said was when he first started there, they lose 66 players and about most of their coaches.
Well, GJ took a bunch of them.
Well, sure.
And that happened.
Yes. But, I mean, he had to start from scratch and had a successful season that year.
In the 2 portal windows. And again, it's, I mean, think about when you hear a Jeff Traylor talk about, you know, Texas or a big Power 4 school coming and plucking a player away after spring ball. Well, Jeff's worried about Power 4 schools. Clint's worried about all of them.
All of them.
Because where is Jeff replacing the guy he lost? Probably from an FCS school.
Sure.
Right? I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. And, you know, the 1 portal window is good for all and certainly good, great for a program like Incarnate Word. And the expectations are going to be there. And the way they have put together offenses and the quarterback factory sense that they have, and again, you've got to live with, you know, where you are in the ecosystem of college football is you're going to have a great year with a quarterback, and you know he's got one that's going to be the starter for UTEP this year.
I know it, and it's crazy. I really enjoyed that, spending time with him, and I wish UIW a great deal of success this year. And I think they will bounce back, and I think you'll see a team again right there winning the Southland Conference and heading into the playoffs and in really good shape. And so looking forward to seeing the Cardinals play this year, especially in those swanky new helmets.
Well, that's it. And man, their uniform game, it was that might have been the worst year from a broadcasting standpoint.
Well, see, dude, you were talking about ugly uniforms, and you think they're ugly because you couldn't see the numbers.
Well, and the football wasn't very good either.
Well,
I mean, the reality is the year I was doing that was 10, 11, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because Paul Alexander and Rob Thompson did it the first year.
Okay.
And or Trey Ware. Might have been Trey Ware and I think it was Trey Ware and Paul Alexander. And then Duel and I were doing it the second year. And that was
Yeah, I'm sure that was interesting.
Right. But it was bizarre because I do my Friday night game, and then wherever we had to drive to for the Saturday game, you're driving either all night or getting up stupid early and going, and then you're watching bad football, and then you'd have a game on 3 different iPads going with 3 different games that were a lot more interesting than Incarnate Word that was down 50-0 at halftime, and you couldn't see the jerseys, and then by then your players were coming in the game that weren't even on the depth chart.
Then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because not many people listening anyway at that point in time.
I mean, including me.
Yes.
And I was broadcasting. It was, and then, their sports information director at the time, you'd go to dinner afterwards. And Incarnate Word is buying dinner or whatever.
Sure.
Right? You weren't allowed to drink beer.
Oh.
If you were wearing a UIW shirt.
Oh, I would have had a spare.
Or sit with them. And so, we'd sit at a different table with a different shirt on. But,
absolutely.
When they were driving and then, after about the, second road game, it was like, I'll drive myself. This van thing sucks.
Absolutely, yes. Speaking of that, Minix, Circa Las Vegas just sent out the lines for week 0 of the college football season. Saturday, August 29th.
Yes.
We'll be there.
We'll be at Circa Las Vegas.
We will be there. As you can bet on TCU, who's a 6.5-point favorite over North Carolina.
Aren't they playing that game overseas somewhere?
I have no idea where they're playing that. Florida State's a 31-point favorite over New Mexico State.
Take the point.
Yeah, well, maybe. Stanford, a 4-point favorite over Hawaii. I mean, there they are. The lines are out, and we will be at Circa Las Vegas on Saturday, August the 29th. Yeah, you can be there too. You want to go with us? You should, because we have a good time. We'll watch some college football live right there on those huge screens.
Think about this. The TCU North Carolina game, 36 days, 18 hours, 44 minutes, 21 seconds.
Wow.
That's the clock on the TCU website.
36 days.
From Dublin, Ireland.
Okay. Well,
now,
good for them.
I think about the games in Ireland generally involve Notre Dame, North Carolina, and TCU.
I'm sure Belichick's thrilled with that.
Oh, I'm sure his
heading
girlfriend
over to Ireland.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure she is.
But when we're in Vegas, that's a 9 a.m. kickoff. You're going to wake up at halftime of a college football game.
9 a.m. Vegas time?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, if it's 11 a.m., Central Time is what TCU has. That's 9 a.m. in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Which means I'll wake up at halftime.
No, dude, I'll be awake.
In Vegas?
Sure. I don't sleep a lot in Vegas, dude. There's no reason to.
Well, no.
Too much money to lose.
I can sleep when I get home.
No, see, now, you stay up a lot later.
I do, but I don't sleep late in Vegas.
Really?
No.
Oh.
I'm usually up. I don't know. My eyes pop open at 7 o'clock, regardless of what time, unless it's like a 5 a.m. Night.
Which we've had.
We have had those, but then I'll maybe sleep till 9.
He's trying to find a Bloody Mary as fast as possible.
Well, and I will. And this beauty of Vegas, they're everywhere.
Yeah, well, they are. Although, and it's not uncommon like, hey, we're going to breakfast, and I'll see it at lunchtime.
Yeah.
On a Saturday.
Uh-huh. It's awesome, man. We can't wait to go out to Circa Las Vegas. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you haven't heard, and we have confirmed it, Diego Pavia waived by the Baltimore Ravens. It's kind of surprising, to be honest with you. I don't know why, but I guess it kind of is.
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
Something like that.
One of those things. If you want info on joining us in Las Vegas, it's all available at sasportstar.com.
Outstanding. Go with us. You won't regret it, I promise you. SEC Media Day is taking place. Lane Kiffin was speaking today, but nobody gives a damn about Lane Kiffin. Wow. Nick Saban was also speaking today and speaking a lot about a lot of different topics. We'll hear from him when we return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Want to talk to you, though, about Window Nation. Window Nation. Look, let me just tell you something. you need to get your windows done. There are a lot of you out there, I promise you, that need new windows. And you know how I can tell? It's hot outside. Your air conditioner's on. And if your house is not cooling the way that you think it should be, it's probably because your windows are leaky. They're not doing well, and they need to be replaced. And I'm going to tell you, Window Nation is going to make that really easy. Really easy right now. They've got one heck of a sale going on right now. 50% off all window styles. All window styles. So you do the math. That's 2 for 1. You get 2 for the price of 1. It is an incredible deal. Plus, 0 down payment, no payments or interest for 2 years. They're making it so easy. If you've been thinking about it, you need to do it. Now is the time to get it done with Window Nation. And you can trust these guys because, well, let me just give you this. They've got an A-plus rating by the Better Business Bureau. They've got a 96% customer satisfaction rating, 45,000 5-star reviews. Window Nation has installed over 3 million windows across this beautiful country of ours. It is a great place, not to mention the fact they're a proud partner of the Wounded Warrior Project. Look, this sale is going to end soon. You know it is. It is just too good to last very long. You don't want to wait to put an end to your window problems. Get it done. Here's what you do. You schedule a fast, free consultation. How do you do that? You go to windownation.com. That's windownation.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and the Gomez Law Firm present the 2026 Back to School Drive. Saturday, August 1st from 11 till 1 or while supplies last at the Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Free backpacks and school supplies for all school-aged children while supplies last. Saturday, August 1st from 11 till 1. Sponsored in part by the College for Healthcare Professionals, AI United Insurance, Central Med, Tamalitos Restaurants, Somerset Academy, and Romo Door Supply.
Let's go to Vegas.
It's Jason and Joe from the Blitz. Join us at Circa Las Vegas in August for the Circa Sports Ultimate Contest Weekend. The Blitz will be live at Circa August 27th and 28th. And then, of course, we're staying for the weekend. So come to Vegas with us for the Ultimate Contest Weekend.
Circa Survivor, Circa Million, Circa Grandissimo are back. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. So join the Blitz at Circa Las Vegas. More details and discounted rooms, visit circasports.com. That's circasports.com.
The Gomez Law Firm has been San Antonio's trusted law firm for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us today. Jose, tell us about the cases you all specialize in.
We do ride-sharing cases, we do 18-wheeler cases, work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, you need to visit joegomezlaw.com. Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
The greatest shopping event of the summer is here. Macy's Black Friday and July sale is back, where you'll find 40 to 60% savings on all the hottest summer fashion and more. Don't wait. Get first dibs on everything you love about Black Friday shopping, from unbeatable sales across the store to curated styles for the season at lower than low prices. Head to Macy's now for a fun-filled holiday shopping adventure smack dab in the middle of summer. It's the can't miss sale of the month. Black Friday and July at Macy's. Savings off select prices. Exclusions apply.
Katie got a VIP box for the postseason. She worked with Empower to help her get good at money so she can be a little bad. She planned well and was able to bring the whole family.
Who wants homemade egg salad sandwiches?
Even Beth.
Horseradish? Anyone? How about some tuna on rye?
Aw, strike three, Beth. Invest well, live a little. Start today at Empower.com.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a lawyer, but getting some guy who just watches courtroom dramas.
How does the defendant plead?
Guilty.
Wait, what?
Also, objection.
You object to what?
Erroneous.
Counsel, approach the bench.
Hey, can I get a whack at the gavel?
You wouldn't settle for just any lawyer, so don't settle for just any insurance. Get the real deal with State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I like
like shorts that are pretty short.
What do kids want to wear back to school? We asked them.
I love wearing things that make me feel confident. Nike shoes, running shoes.
Academy is giving back to school back to kids with brands like Nike, Burlebo, and Adidas. Line up early on August 1st to score a promo card worth up to $100. Be one of the first 125 in line for a guaranteed promo card valued at $20 or more. No purchase necessary. Open to Texas residents 18 or older. See academy.com/official rules.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, Alexa, play 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hope y'all are all having a good Thursday out there, whatever you're doing, however you're doing it. Appreciate you spending a little time with us here on the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He is Jason Minix.
You know, before we get into Nick Saban and what he was saying at SEC Media Days, I mean, it's 4:24. We're, 2 hours and 24 minutes into the show, and Reinagle's head is yet to explode today.
So you're going to make it explode here?
I mean, it's in my contract that I've got to do that once, at least once a day.
I need a good head explosion.
As we wait for LeBron James to make a decision. Even Bronny says he doesn't know what his dad is going to do.
And last thing, you think your dad going to the Warriors?
Man, I don't know where he's going,
bro.
But I'd be crazy if he did.
Okay.
Yeah, I
appreciate you, bro.
Bronny has earned it.
Yeah, with Bronny.
Yeah, Bronny doesn't know what his dad's doing.
Well, I don't know if he does or not, to be honest with you, but I guarantee he'd get a nice spanking on his hiney if he told anybody.
Well, he would.
He would. LeBron bent him right over his knee and spank his little hiney.
Mm-hmm.
We almost made it through an entire show without mentioning LeBron James.
Yeah, but, I mean, to get him to make a decision, we have to talk about him.
And do we have to?
Well, no.
I don't know that he's going to make it anytime soon. I heard today that, it could be as long as August 6th because that's when, some players might be available. Anthony Davis and who was the other one? Kyrie Irving? I mean, I haven't heard any rumors that he's still a Maverick, right?
Yeah.
That the Mavericks are in any way, shape, or form ready to part with that guy.
Well, I mean, but maybe he ends up in Dallas. Maybe LeBron ends up in Dallas. A good business decision. They're in the casino business.
Perhaps. I don't know.
Good golf courses.
He'd be pretty good there alongside Cooper Flagg, maybe. I don't know.
Possible.
Who knows what he's going to do? I have no clue.
And Diego Pavia waived.
Yep.
And Tyreek Hill, his leg is still kind of messed up. It's where you push play, pledge.
All right, y'all, I'm about to explain exactly what I'm doing here. So it's about 10 months after doing 2 surgeries. I recently had a LCL surgery in February. But I'm about to tell y'all exactly what I'm doing. So I'm doing wall push-offs. Me and my pops used to do this when I was a kid. Where I'm at right now, I'm doing tempo. I'm not supposed to be doing tempo runs, so don't tell my rehab bit. But I like to challenge myself a little bit. But anyways, I'm doing some push-offs with my left leg. My left leg is the one that I injured. I have no power in my left leg at all, so I'm trying to regain all the power back in my left leg. I've been activating the quads, the glutes, the hamstrings, the calves. I've been doing all the stability work, all the mobility work I need to, get my knee back right. But it's one day at a time. So here I am about to do these left leg push-offs off the wall. Then it's also cardio too, so.
And I've had 3 kids in that period of time too. It's just amazing what I can do with a busted leg.
No power in my leg.
No power, but there's power in the other one. We're impregnating women all over the place.
Wow. You kind of feel like his career is probably done?
Probably. Probably is. I mean, obviously he's working very hard. You can tell that, trying to get back in some sort of shape. But, I mean, that's a problem if there's no power in one of your legs and you're the fastest guy on the field. And, yeah, that's an issue. So it looks like he's probably all done, which is a shame. And really his career never did much of anything when he left Kansas City. I mean, I guess, he showed some flashes there in Miami, but when he left Kansas City, that almost seemed to be he was pretty much done. You got to wonder if Andy Reid knew something or saw something that kind of said, well, it's time to move on.
Financial reasons at the time and such an incredibly rare talent, but it's mainly about his speed. And as he's been in the league, 10 years? So around 30? If he doesn't have speed, he's got no career in the NFL.
He's got nothing. Because, again, he was the fastest guy on the field, always. And he could outrun everybody. And that's what made him so dangerous. And if he can't run and there's no power, that's not I don't know if that's something you want to get on social media and say.
It doesn't seem like it's good PR.
I just don't think that's what you want to say.
Is he still officially with the Dolphins, or is he going to be a free agent? So he's a man without a team.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's really right before training camp. Yeah, I got no power.
Yeah, that's not good.
But I will next week. Watch. I mean, it just – I mean, cool, I'm glad you're working hard, but
he could have just, hey, look at me. I'm working my butt off. I'm trying to get ready for some team to call. I'm going to be ready to go. I think leaving the power in the leg thing could have been just you leave that out.
Hey, man, I've got this used car. It's for sale.
Yes.
It runs great but needs a new engine.
Yeah. You don't really want to say that necessarily. So we'll see what happens. But it sounds like, I mean, and God bless the guy. I mean, he made a lot of money, so I think he's okay. But
got a lot of child support payments.
He does have a lot of child support payments and a lot of other things to pay for kids-wise. But, that is the way that it goes. So best of luck to Tyreek Hill. The best part about even talking about Tyreek Hill, and I'm glad we moved on from that other guy and his son.
Bronny has earned it.
At football season, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Right around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
It is here, and I just cannot wait. So having said that, we did have SEC Media Days going on. We mentioned Nick Saban, Steve Sarkisian on the podium today as well. So all of those guys saying a lot. And my main question, and I'm hoping, because, look, I'm an Arch Manning fan. I want this young man to do well. I honestly do. And he needs to do well in season number 3. Steve Sarkisian talking about his quarterback and what he thinks is going to happen this year when it comes to his signal caller. We'll hear from all of those guys when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast. Best way to do that, call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online. Go to mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail. You don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. Of course, they are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. So if you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
San Antonio Sports Star sending our boys to see the boys. Our AA Best Bail Bonds coverage of Dallas Cowboys training camp in Oxnard, California begins Monday afternoon, August 3rd at 2. Sponsored in part by Southern Recipe Pork Rinds and AARP San Antonio. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Dave Ramsey here, and I love my Connecticut water softener. Right now, with the purchase of a Connecticut water softener, you receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink, complete with a color fixture to match your kitchen. That means cleaner, better tasting water for coffee, cooking, ice, and everyday drinking. The Connecticut K5 drinking water station removes up to 99% of many contaminants and can be customized for your home. So instead of buying bottled water or wondering what's really coming out of your tap, you get cleaner, great tasting water right where you use it most. A Connecticut runs on energy from your water flow, which means no electricity, no timer, and no computer that can break. With its twin tank system, you get soft water 24/7. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country for a free water test at 210-656-PURE. And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
ConnecticutSA.com.
License number 38961. $30 million in guaranteed prizes. Cash in this football season in Las Vegas with 3 Circus Sports contests. Entry starting at $1,000, all with no rate. Circa Million, 18 weeks of point spread action. Circus Survivor, pick one winner each week, no point spread. And the Big Daddy, Circa Grandissimo, with a $100,000 entry fee. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. $30 million guaranteed. Visit circusports.com for details.
When snack time calls, Pork Rinds answers. Be your own crunch time hero with Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Skip the chip and go straight for the ultimate crunch that's low carb, high protein, and loaded with bold flavor. We're talking sweet barbecue or hot honey. Yeah, it's that good. Snack smarter, crunch harder. Stock up on Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB or head to porkrinds.com. Make Southern Recipe your crunch time hero.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson in the morning.
Coming up on the AJ and Rob Show, it's a Friday. We'll be partying, yeah. Looking forward to the weekend, Rob.
Not a lot of sports to talk about. LeBron still doesn't have a home. We'll figure out where he's landed. And guess what? Cowboys are in camp, and the Blitz is heading there. We'll get you ready for Cowboy camp and all the things you care about. Get here early. Party starts at 6.
AJ and Rob, weekday mornings 6 to 10, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, I wish you guys could see inside the studio here during the breaks.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, you just start laughing for no reason.
Well,
I don't know what it is. I hear Maddox laughing over there. It's like, oh, okay. The day that ends in Y, that's what happens. I don't know. You saw something funny on the
yeah, watching a reel on Instagram, or Pledge telling me a joke in my ear.
Pledge tell you a joke?
Well, I mean, he told you a joke, too. It just went over your head, and I found it was funny. It was a pop culture reference.
I didn't hear anything he said, so I don't know. I'm wondering why.
I feel like Maggie all of a sudden. I didn't hear you.
What's new?
Yeah.
Exactly. We've had great discussion on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. Everybody talking about Tyreek Hill because we just talked about that. Jeff Traylor, Clint Killough. And then here comes Josh. I mean, just out of nowhere, Sean Payton is a top 5 coach in the NFL. When the hell have we mentioned Sean Payton today? I mean, I'm just like wondering. I'm looking at that going, well, okay. I mean,
you ever have a conversation with somebody and then they just out of left field drop something that makes no sense whatsoever?
Today, right now.
I mean, look, I mean, James Pledger is that. Like, you can be and then boom. Josh is that way.
Yes. It must be a Texan thing.
It might be. Or Josh trying to be clever. Wait, Joe's head hasn't exploded yet? I can fix that.
Well, no, that already happened, and you fixed that with
Bronny has earned that.
Your LeBron James reference.
Josh is a little late.
Maybe.
I mean,
well, he typically is.
He's always, a little bit behind on everything.
He is. He's late most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious as I'm reading the comments going, oh, that's a good comment. Nice. I get that. That's funny. Sean Payton's a top 5 coach in the NFL. I'm like, what? Where the hell did that come from?
You're a dumb butt.
Holy cow. I don't. Keep trying, Josh.
Although
you'll get there one day, buddy.
Is Sean Payton a top 5 coach in the NFL?
Did we mention that?
No, but I mean, maybe he thinks we should discuss who are the top 5 coaches in the NFL. It's
right.
listener-producer segment today.
Well, I'm just
the answer's no. All right, next.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Who is the best coach in the NFL right now? Andy Reid?
Andy Reid or Sean McVay?
Okay.
Yeah, but you would have to go Andy Reid because
well, there's 2.
Go from there.
All right.
Who else would be in your top coaches list?
Well, Andy Reid for me would have to be the best. I think he absolutely is, and I'd have to go down the list.
I mean, Tomlin's now at NBC, so he's not going to be.
I would have to say John Harbaugh, perhaps.
Well, I mean, except for he just changed jobs.
He did, but he had a lot of success with Baltimore.
Now, I just Googled just for fun because I know you're biased. AI, Andy Reid, Sean McVay, Mike McDonald, who just won a Super Bowl with Seattle.
Okay.
Kyle Shanahan.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Payton.
Well, it's a little early, isn't it, for McDonald?
He is the.
I know he won a Super Bowl,
yep.
and so I guess that gets him in there.
But I'm with you. I would not have had McDonald on my list. Now, Pro Football Talk has McVay 1, Andy Reid 2, Kyle Shanahan 3, McDonald 4, Sean Payton 5,
so
Jim
he's
Harbaugh
5 all the
6.
way, right?
Yeah, Vrabel is in at 7, Dan Campbell at 8. Nick Sirianni at 9.
And he's got 2 Super Bowls.
And Matt LaFleur at 10.
Huh.
D'Amico Ryans, 11.
All right.
Kevin O'Connell at 12. Ben Johnson at 13. Liam Cohen at 14. Shane Steichen at 15. Todd Bowles at 16.
Huh.
Can't be right. Zach Taylor at 17. Kellen Moore at 18. Brian Schottenheimer going to make this list. Dave Canales at 19. Dan Quinn at 20. There is Shotty at number 21.
21.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. Middle of the pack.
Mm-hmm. Aaron Glenn is at 22.
Yeah, that surprises me.
This must be a really old list. Joe Brady is no, they end it there because all the new coach. John Harbaugh is not listed because he's a new coach at his new job.
At his new job, yeah. But again, he had a lot of success with Baltimore. His brother he's had success in the NFL.
Sure.
But not with the Chargers yet.
But think about this. Of the 22 ranked coaches, because clearly they didn't rank any coach that is starting year 1 with the new team. And this was published April 7th of 2026. They have Brian Schottenheimer better only than Aaron Glenn, who might not even make the season. Think about that for a minute.
Dude, Aaron Glenn, I guess it is one of 32, so you take it. But being the head coach of the New York Jets is like just signing your own death warrant, isn't it?
Well,
my God.
I mean, it's true, but I mean, you make a lot of money in a short amount of time, and
I suppose,
and you go from there. But again, Brian Schottenheimer. Now, granted, that was a Cowboy team last year that did not make the playoffs. But I think all of us know while he was the head coach, You had a head coach of the defense, and you had Brian Schottenheimer as the offensive coordinator. But to have him that far down the rankings, and granted, his record's 7-9-1. I mean, what do you do with that? But that is pretty comical. So, Brian Schottenheimer better get his stuff together.
Well, he better, and again, he's got an opportunity this year to win some games. And I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, and I mean it in all sincerity. And it doesn't matter if it was the Cowboys or any team. I have heard more people say the Cowboys are, the thing in the NFL this year than I've ever heard, I think. And I mean that sincerely. And so I don't know, and obviously you want people talking good about your team, but do you? I don't know.
Well, I think the answer is yes and no, all at the same time. We talked to Jeff Traylor earlier in the show. The expectations is right now they're ranked second in the American. It's different when you're playing with those high expectations. We had Clint Killough on the show earlier too, a head coach over in Incarnate Word. He told us he's a finance major. The expectations when he first got there weren't good, and they were great. Then last year the expectations really high, and they failed to meet those expectations.
Yeah.
So it is kind of there, but yeah, you look at the Cowboys coming into this season, expectations are much higher than they have been in a while. But the biggest storyline is Christian Parker. Last year, they had a great offense. Their defense was awful. So Christian Parker, no experience as a coordinator, is changing the scheme to a 3-4 system. They add in a Rashawn Gary. They hope that Overshown can stay healthy. They go out and they get a Kobe Durant and a Jalen Thompson. In the secondary, they draft a Caleb Downs. And all of a sudden, well, that defense can't be worse than it was last year. So if they can rise to be mediocre, if they can rise to be middle of the pack, this Cowboys team should be much improved over last year. Offense, second year under Shoddy's system as a play caller and head coach, that should take a step forward. So it's reasonable to think that the Cowboys should be a playoff team this year, something they haven't been the last 2 years, and be in the mix.
They win the division. I said that yesterday. I clearly believe the Cowboys win the East. Obviously, we're sitting here at the end of July, and nobody's taking a snap, and there's been no injuries, and yada, yada. But all things being equal, the Cowboys win the East. I truly believe that. I think, I think the Giants will be better. I do. I think they'll be better. I think Washington, I don't know. But you would think if Jaden Daniels stays healthy, they'll be better.
Yep.
Philadelphia, I don't know what to make of Philadelphia, to be totally honest with you. They could go a lot of different ways. You assume they're going to be good. But I think the Cowboys, with their offensive firepower, and if they are just a top 15 defense, top 20 defense, I think they'll have a chance to win that division.
I think top 20, and yeah, they could win the NFC East, but they need to be somewhere around, 8-13 defensively to be a legit Super Bowl contender. And right now there are some that say they are in that mix in the NFC to go to the Super Bowl. Not necessarily win the Super Bowl, but at least get there. And granted, Aaron Donald comes back, and that certainly would change a lot of things for the Rams, who are expected to be the best team in the NFC to begin with. Seattle, while they are the defending champions, did lose a lot. Well, but again, they came out of nowhere last year to go win the Super Bowl. San Francisco always seems to be in the mix, always seems to disappoint, right? So, yeah, the Cowboys should be in that mix. The AFC and the Houston Texans, it could almost be the same question, phrased differently, where they have a great defense. Where their defense was ranked number 2 last year.
Yeah.
But their offense is inconsistent. So how good is Houston's offense? It's like, how much better can the Cowboys' defense be to couple with a great offense? Well, how good can Houston's offense be to marry up with that incredible defense that DeMeco Ryans has built?
Well, I think you start with the offensive line. Are they going to be better than they were. And you got to figure if they just move up to middle of the pack, it will help. I think David Montgomery, they're giving the young running back somebody else to go head-to-head with or bang, and they've got two choices there. I think that's going to help. I think they get Tank Dell back at some point in time. That's going to help. Nico Collins is one of the best wide receivers in the NFL at this point in time. So they've got the tools there. If they only had a tight end, that would be nice. But I'm just saying, if I joke. But they've got the pieces there. But it's all going to come down to C.J. Stroud.
Mm-hmm.
How is he going to perform? The young man's got all the tools, all the stuff. I'm just not sure. Sometimes he's got it between the ears, and that's where he's got to figure it out and figure out what he did his rookie year. But I'm going to tell you this: C.J. Stroud is a perfect example of what happens so many times in the NFL. A player comes, Jaden Daniels the same way, and I know Daniels got hurt, so it may be not a fair comparison, but you set the world on fire your rookie year, and then defensive coordinators are damn good, and they figure out where your weakness is, and they exploit it, and that's what happens, and sometimes that second year, that third year in C.J. Stroud's situation is just a lot harder than it was when you came in your rookie year.
I'm just, it's training camp time. There are teams that are already out of it, but there's still so much hope for so many different franchises, and you got to let it all play out. I think Seattle is proof where they thought they'd be good, but nobody had Seattle winning it all last year.
No. But again, you've got a quarterback there, and obviously their defense was good, really good. You got a quarterback there who's won 28 ball games in the last 2 years, and that doesn't even include the playoffs. And he gets no credit at all. None whatsoever. Sam Darnold, Super Bowl winning quarterback, 28 wins over the last 2 years in the regular season, not to mention the playoffs. And nobody, it's just Sam Darnold. He sucks.
Well, except for, I think you're going to see a lot of teams with the success Sam has had, the success Baker Mayfield has had. And that's another team. When you look at the NFC South, now Bijan is a game changer for Atlanta, obviously. I mean, he might be the best running back in the NFL coming into the year.
I agree with that.
At the end of the year.
Yeah.
Dual threat guy, if they could figure out the quarterback situation there. But Atlanta's Atlanta. New Orleans, Carolina, obviously, were a surprise last year. How good are they going to be this year? But Tampa Bay and Baker Mayfield in that group, as dominant as they were, now obviously they got to replace some huge weapons, but if they can stay healthy, that's another team that could be in that mix in the NFC that you might not put them as right now like, I would put a lot of money on Tampa Bay going to the Super Bowl, but if the cards fell right and they stay healthy, they could be right there.
Well, you're a little more optimistic about Tampa Bay than I am. I don't think they have a shot in hell, to be totally honest with you. And that's no disrespect to Baker Mayfield.
Sure.
But I'm just saying that division, first and foremost, is crap. I mean, let's face it. Although I think New Orleans will be a little bit better. I think they finally found their quarterback. But again, I think the NFC has improved tremendously. I really do. I mean, there for a while, it was the AFC was the dominant conference.
Mm-hmm.
Now I think the NFC has certainly improved, and I think the Cowboys are certainly part of that. Philly's part of that. You mentioned the NFC West, and then we haven't even talked about what is Chicago going to do? How are the Lions going to play?
The Vikings.
Is Minnesota going to be any good? Yeah. So
if Kyler Murray
pulls his head out.
Sure. But you look at with Kevin O'Connell, let's see what he can do with Kyler Murray, who, again, signed a one-year deal. So I got to believe for Kyler Murray, there's no video games this offseason. It's all working with Kevin O'Connell. And what can he do knowing that it's a one-year deal, that if he has a great year, he can basically get a blank check and see where he's going to go and completely change his reputation. And when you look at a Sam Darnold and a Baker Mayfield changing The change of scenery has been the difference makers in their careers. Because otherwise, both those guys either look like they were destined to be insurance salesmen or career backups. And they're still in the league now, highly paid starters with very high expectations.
Absolutely. And look, I mean, it's obvious that Baker Mayfield is the face of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he has resurrected his career in Tampa Bay. And so there's no disrespect to him. I'm just not sure what they have around him. You lose a guy like Mike Evans, who Baker liked to throw the football to, and for obvious reasons. I'm not sure what they got. And they may have replaced Evans with something else. I'm not sure as I sit here today. But that's a big loss for them. I just don't know how good they're going to be. And I think it was their head coach. He was one of the guys on the hot seat.
Yep.
As we go into this season. So,
I mean, I know losing a guy like Mike Evans is always tough, but they still have Chris Godwin, they still have Bucky Irving, and they still have
Emeka Egbegboo.
And that dude's a stud.
Yes, he is. He sure is.
Emeka Egbegboo.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
We got to take a break. We are up against it right here. But we will return. Have no fear.
Emeka Egbegboo.
Yes, and we'll even try to say that name a couple of times, maybe.
Emeka Egbegboo.
That's funny as hell. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, as you're talking about football season, players like
Emeka Egbegboo
and what they could do for your fantasy team, you need to find a place for your fantasy draft to get all your friends together. You don't want to do it online from your living room. Get together. Get some wings. Get a couple of buckets of beer. You know where you can do that? The Roo Pub. They're at 281 and Redland Road. Just message the Roo Pub. They've got a great fantasy draft package where it has food, it has buckets of beer, and it's going to be a great time. And obviously, you know, the food is fantastic there at the Roo. So, yeah, they've got baseball games. We're not that far away from football for those 3 massive 170-inch screens. All the games, all the fights, and the food, incredible. They do have the biggest and best wings in town, about 15 different burgers on the menu. I love their fried shrimp, their chicken sandwich. The hot dogs are great. Their appetizers, love the onion rings up at the Roo Pub. I'm even told they have great salads, and that kitchen is open late every day with the full menu available. That's the OG Roo Pub there at 281 in Redland Road. If you're heading to the coast, you have the Roo Pub in Rockport that is open, and number 3 is opening soon in the greater San Antonio area. It will be ready to go for football season. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney who has practiced law here in San Antonio since 1994. Over the past 30 years, I've represented hundreds, if not thousands, of victims of negligent drivers. If you've been in an auto accident, you can choose a billboard lawyer, but I'd ask you to consider calling me. We have only one rule in my office. If my client's happy, I'm happy. My team and I place a premium on communication because I believe there can be no daylight between an effective attorney and his client. I do not charge for an initial consultation. If you've been injured in a traffic collision, just call my office, 210-900-0400. There's no charge. I want to make sure that the decisions you make immediately after an accident are smart decisions. The other driver's insurance company and your own insurance company will want to talk to you immediately after the accident. My advice, talk to me first. Many adjusters play fair, but I've seen more than a few that do not. If you've been injured by a negligent driver, call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Life is meant to be lived in motion, in the moment, on the go. If a sports injury or chronic pain threatens to slow you down, hold you back, or take you out of the game, Chris's Health is here, right where you live, with complete personalized orthopedic care. Because you have a lot of games to play, miles to go, and life to live. Christus Health. Your health. Your life. Our purpose. Find care near you at christushealth.org.
Tamalitos Authentic Mexican Food is now available at 11210 Nacogdoches Road. And don't forget, Tamalitos Restaurants is giving away over $1,000 at the upcoming Back to School Drive on Saturday, August 1st from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Gomez Law Firm.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
We've got some Major League Baseball. In fact, the Texas Rangers, actually, we don't have Major League Baseball. Both the Rangers and the Astros have tonight off. The Rangers will open up a series with the Seattle Mariners tomorrow. The Astros, they return tomorrow against the Chicago White Sox. Well, Jane Slater of the NFL Network reporting the Houston Texans running back David Montgomery expected to be the bell cow running back.
From the studios of San Antonio's Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Blitz. 2 decades on the radio, Jason Minix. 2 decades on TV, Joe Reinagel. 2 San Antonio sports voices you've trusted for years. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
We're back on a Thursday. Final hour of the Blitz, and, well, if you're getting off work at 5 o'clock, you're about to. Maybe they'll let you off early today. Who knows? Happy you're spending a little time with us.
Let you off early.
Here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Joe Reinagel. He's Jason Minix. And, man, I tell you what, some weeks just kind of crawl by. This one has just zoomed by.
That's because we're getting closer and closer to football season.
Maybe that's it.
But also, I mean, get off work early. I saw a lawyer that I follow on social media. He said, one thing we learned at the World Cup? And he walks out of the office, it's 5 o'clock, and he says, plus 12. Finish your work. Stay there. It's extra time.
Yeah.
All that gossip time you had earlier, we're adding it on to your work day. I think that's funny.
Well, sure. And I'm glad the bosses don't keep track like that, but
could you imagine?
Dude, nobody would ever go home. Are you kidding me? There'd be like, 8 hours of extra time. Because y'all did nothing while you were here today.
Could you imagine?
I can't even imagine that.
That is funny. SEC Media Days, and obviously that's part of that. There's events on the calendar where football season is close. And today the Longhorns were one of the featured teams because the SEC stretches this out for many days. And obviously high expectations for the Texas Longhorns. And Steve Sarkisian on SportsCenter earlier today talking about how you deal with those expectations.
The standard is a standard at the University of Texas, and it doesn't matter what sport. We compete for championships. It doesn't matter what conference we're in. We're competing for conference championships. We're competing for national championships, and this year's no different for us. Okay, so I know there's expectations of what we're supposed to be outside of our organization, but I can promise you they're higher within. We've got a very hungry football team. We understand we're a talented football team. It's not a secret, but we've got to make that come to life. Right? We've got to continue to come together as a football team. We've got to show that we can respond to adversity. We've got to show that we can go win those games, those big games on the road, those big games in December and ultimately into January. And that's what this team is going to be tasked with from week one moving forward. And so it's exciting because I like the team, but now we got to go put it on the field and make it come to life.
Absolutely you do. And that's it. I mean, the expectations are huge for Texas. They're through the roof. Arch Manning's 3rd year. They've got a lot of guys around him. They've built that team. They're outstanding in all of those things. The expectations are very high, but they haven't played one down of football yet. So that's where you got to prove it. I mean, expectations are one thing, then you got to meet them.
Well, and that's it. And for Texas to meet those expectations, Arch Manning has to have an incredible season. And again, I know this guy, right out of high school, Heisman candidate, and way too early for those kind of expectations. Has he grown into it? And Sark was talking about his quarterback and maturing after struggles early on.
Arch Manning a year ago wasn't on social media or on television saying, I'm going to be the first pick of the draft. He wasn't on television saying, I'm going to win the Heisman Trophy. All he did was work really hard. All he did was try to be the best teammate he can be. And then we had some failures as a team. He didn't play to the way of what he was capable of playing. And then those same people that were saying that about him wanted to criticize and demean him almost for letting them down because he didn't live up to what they thought he was going to be. Very interesting concept right there. And I think the way of what he got put through probably would have melted or destroyed 99% of people in his shoes. All he did was stay consistent to true to who he was, which continue to work hard, continue to be a great teammate, try to get better, and he did. And he came out and played the second half of the season at a really high level. We go 7-1. He's got 20 touchdowns, only 2 turnovers. He's a fantastic player at the end of the year. But he didn't go back on social media and say, I told you so. And all he's done this year is continue to work hard again. And so there's always going to be outside opinions of that guy. And that comes with the territory, and he understands that. But I think he learned a lot about himself last year, about dealing with adversity and overcoming. And I think he learned a lot about his teammates and the support that they gave him, and them recognizing the mental and physical toughness that he has to play the position, to be their leader. And I think that he's grown into a great leader for us. And so I'm very proud of Arch for the way he's carried himself, the way he represents the University of Texas. I think right now he's a very dangerous player because he learned a lot from last season, and he's surrounded by some good players. And I think that he's a guy that's poised for a heck of a season.
Well, I mean, that's what Longhorn fans certainly are hoping for. And you know what? I think college football fans in general, even if you don't like Texas, I don't know anybody that doesn't like Arch Manning and doesn't want to see him succeed. I mean, the Manning family is football royalty. And you've got another opportunity for a Manning to succeed and be a hell of a quarterback before it's all said and done. I'd like to see Arch Manning have a good season this year. I really would. I'd like for him to play well from start to finish. No early rough spots, but and coming back at the end of the season, start to finish. And look, it all starts with Ohio State, man. Big test right off the bat.
Texas State's not.
Well, the Texas State's after that.
Is it?
Yeah, Ohio State's the second game of the year.
Yeah, don't they open with Texas opens with Texas State?
I don't think so.
I'll double check the schedule, or you can.
I'll do it.
But I mean, but you're right. The first big test is that Ohio State game, and to your point too, Arch Manning is a likable guy, and when you think about that, like he doesn't come across as this arrogant. I'm from a rich family and I'm better than everybody and all that kind of stuff. And you're right. I think you're right. Outside of, I don't know, maybe people in College Station, he is liked and people probably root for him. And it's one thing for Sark to say that about his quarterback, but even Nick Saban said Arch Manning can lead UT to a title.
Well, I think Arch is an outstanding quarterback. I think, Arch has always had He's always tried to prove himself before he leaves. And I think the way he played down the stretch last year at the end of the season, he proved himself. And I think now he's becoming a better leader. I think they have a more mature team. I think they're going to try to add physicality and be able to run the ball effectively, which they couldn't do last year. I think all these things will affect him in a positive way in terms of his ability to be more consistent at the quarterback position, because he certainly has the capabilities to lead them to a championship.
No doubt about it. And by the way, it is Texas State that Texas opens with on September the 5th.
Can we give, in the spirit of the World Cup, everything Texas State on our YouTube page, you get a red card.
Yes, yes.
You can go read his comment there. That's just mean.
Well, it is.
Don't root for injury.
Yeah, I don't root for injury. For anybody. I don't want to see injuries.
No. I mean, but when you look at it, I mean, incredible, obvious expectation for the Longhorns. But there always seem to be. Texas is one of those programs. And you look at, right, you go out and you get an Arch. And you go and you hire a Sark, and you still haven't taken that next step. Hell, A&M last year, they got into the playoffs, and nobody thought that was going to happen. But they didn't get into the SEC championship game because they lost at DKR. And there was a little something that happened on the Jumbotron at the end of the game. And Sark has nothing to do with what's going on the Jumbotron. But media days, those old scabs get picked on a day like today.
Tyler Shaw with KBTX. At the end of the Lone Star Showdown last year, there was a video that played on the video board. It was a quote of Mike Elko saying this is the flagship program of the state in kind of a troll job way. What were your thoughts?
I was not happy about it.
Rivalry moment.
I was not happy about it.
What have you seen from this rivalry so far?
It's a hell of a rivalry. I'm fortunate to be part of it. I'm humbled. I'm honored. The great players, the great teams, the great coaches who have been part of this game, I respect it. And I respect the competition. In the last 2 years, those have been great games that have mattered. 2 years ago, the winner of that game goes to the SEC championship. Last year, we were fighting for what we felt like was our playoff lives. They were an undefeated team. So there were some great moments. But emotions run high in those games. We had a team that was trying to think about going to planting a flag 2 years ago, and I wouldn't let that happen. I respect the game of football, and I respect college football, and I respect the football gods. And there's a way to go about our business, and there's a way not. And so rivalries are great, but we got to be able to fight the emotions that come with the rivalry. And I think that's why we've had success in some of our rivalry games, whether it's A&M or OU or Arkansas. So I think we do a good job of managing our emotions. And so, but that's a real challenge when you get into games like that.
I expect Sark to say that, but you know what? It is a rivalry, and the beauty of rivalries is the fact that you can talk a little trash, and I love it. And that was, to me, was just one of those things. Look, A&M's going to do the same thing. If they beat Texas, there'll be something snarky. They're not, we're Texas A&M, we're not going to do that. Bull. They'll do the same thing. OU would do the same thing. And that's just the rivalry of college football. I love it. Now, I don't expect Sark to say anything else. I mean, he has to, I hated it. I was really pissed off about it and whatever. I love it, and I hope it continues. That's the beauty of college football.
It is. And obviously a question like that coming from a reporter that works in Bryan College Station. And that's what you like. No different than at the Big 12 media days when Sean Dillon from Lubbock was asking the commissioner there of the Big 12 what he was asking about, with the penalties and stuff, because you've got to ask the questions for the people of your audience that they want the answer to, and that was his chance to and again, Sark answered it the way it needed to be answered.
And I'm sure Sark knew who he was talking to.
Yep.
I'd be surprised if he didn't. And so, look, he answered the question exactly how you would expect him to answer the question. But I love it, and I hope it never goes away. It's kind of like these highbrow. We can't have tortillas thrown; it just might hurt somebody. It's ridiculous. I mean, that's a tradition. It's a school tradition, and it's like that kind of stuff is great. And the fans get involved, the students get involved, and it's just, man, you go to college to have fun.
Yep.
All right, and so have fun. And that's it. And I guarantee you, everybody that was at Royal Memorial Stadium that day that was a Texas fan loved that Jumbotron when that happened. And if by some chance, and certainly they could do it, if A&M beats Texas this year and they put something up, then I'm going to applaud that too.
Well, that's the beauty of it. And throw the damn tortillas.
Throw the tortillas.
Although, God, what a waste of good tortillas. But I digress.
They make more.
And again, for Texas last year, knowing that they weren't going to the playoffs or playing for the national championship, that kind of was it. That was bigger than the bowl game. Now this year, no surprise for Texas and everybody else. Paul Feinbaum said it's championship or bust in Austin.
You know the answer, Greeny. It is yes. You don't get to this point with one of the most celebrated players in modern college football history and lay an egg like Texas did last year. Remember, they lost that Ohio State game, and then they dropped a game to Florida a couple weeks later, which really knocked them out of the CFP. They lost to Georgia later on. But they not only have Arch Manning, they have so many amazing players that they picked up in the portal. They have one of the best rosters, if not the best in all of college football, certainly the best in the SEC. They have to get to the title game.
Hey, Feinbaum makes a good point there. They lost to Ohio State. Okay, that was early. You can come back from that. But when you go and you lose to a team like Florida, and that's what kills you. You go on the road, you lose to a Florida team that you're clearly better than, and those are the games that kill you. An Ohio State loss, you can probably overcome that because it is Ohio State number 1 and it's early in the season number 2. But when you go and you flop against a Florida team, that's the kind of stuff that's got to drive a coach crazy.
Yes.
I mean, it has to. It is just nuts. Hey, coming up next, we get to talk to the general, John McClain. We'll talk a little Houston Texans football. See what he thinks about the Texans and what's going on there and their offense and defense and well, all of that stuff. We'll do that when we return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. All this talk about football is just getting me fired up and thinking about, this game, that game, the big games, and where are the best places to go to get involved and watch the games and be in the atmosphere and all of that kind of stuff. And, well, I keep thinking about Novo Brewery. That's exactly what I'm thinking about because it's a perfect place to take a group to go watch some football, whether that's college football, pro football, whatever it happens to be. Novo Brewery is the place to go. And, I mean, it just makes perfect sense. They've got over 80 feet of massive LED screens. They've got craft beer on tap. They've got that hard kombucha. They also have domestic beer on tap. They've got domestic beer in bottles, and they've got a full bar. So any kind of cocktail that you want, they can whip that up for you. So it's a one-stop shop when it comes to your drinking. And how about your eating? Yeah, the food is great there. They've got a full menu, all kinds of stuff that starts with wings, sandwiches, burgers. The picanha skewers are my go-to. I love those things. All the way up to ribeye steaks. And the food is prepared. It is absolutely fantastic. It's a great place to do if you have to take your kids with you. They've got a kids' play area, and it is attached to North Star Mall. There's an entrance from the mall. You can get in that way. But they also have their own entrance on the Rector Street side of North Star Mall. You park, you go right in. They're open late hours. They're not married to the mall hours. So it is just it's a great place to go and watch football. Make your plans now to get that done and head over to Novo Brewery. You want to check them out before you go? NovoBrew.com. That's NOVO Brew.com.
All right, step up if you really know the Rangers.
All this football talk on a Thursday has been a lot of fun, and we appreciate you sticking around and, well, talking a little football with us here on the Blitz 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He is Jason Minnick.
And you think about it, we've had Jeff Traylor on the show today. UIW head football coach Clint Killough was on the show, and now John McClain joining us on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Not a coach, but has talked to more coaches than, everybody listening combined.
No doubt.
And, John, I imagine you're kind of the same way. I love talking to coaches in July. They're all relaxed. They're putting plans together. It's a different vibe from a coach.
Well, I'd like to tell y'all something about Jeff Traylor. For the last 2 years, I was in San Antonio, and this year the Texas High School Coaches Association Convention was here. And I've been honored to be there with the Gridiron Legends of Texas on the first day, and then I host a panel the second day. This year it was with Wade Phillips. We always get Wade because everybody loves Wade. And it's an honor to talk to people like Wade Phillips, Richmond Webb, Jerry Ball, Michael Bishop, and prominent high school coaches here. And know that several hundred are out there watching. But the day before, they always have the kickoff in which Craig Way, the voice of the Longhorns, is at the podium, and every Division I coach in Texas has a seat and a microphone, and Craig asks them really good questions. And you guys know how funny Traylor can be. And it started with G.J. Kinney giving him a hard time about his lack of knowledge about AI. And then somebody on the other side, I can't remember who, chimed in the same way. Traylor was caught in the middle, but he was so funny. His wife thought he was having an affair but he just said, "Hey, I'm in here. I've met a new lady named Cat, whatever." And so he's trying to pick it up. I can't believe, I'm really surprised. And I know he's got a good job in San Antonio at UTSA and all, but I thought for a while, and I still do, they got to be worried about losing him at some point. And but he is always very entertaining at that event, and I'm honored to be there.
Well, he's had his opportunities, John, and he's turned a couple of things down to stay here. He likes coaching here at UTSA, but I'm with you. He's young enough. He will probably at some point in time move on. Hopefully, it's not too soon. That's for sure. But it is great talking to these guys because, with Clint Killough today at UIW, with Jeff Traylor, it's all about, well, just what are you doing in the summer? And just you get to know them a little bit better when they're not in the stresses of the football season.
Well, everybody's fired up at this time of the year. I love talking to those high school coaches, too. I like Joey McGuire from all those years. He was at Baylor. He kind of chuckled about May and June not being good months for him. And, of course, that was because of the Sorsby situation. And Willie Fritz did a great job at the University of Houston last year, at 10-3 in his second season. And so I love watching him. Steve Sarkisian, I think he's got more pressure on him than any coach in the country because a lot of people are picking him in the national championship. He's got Arch Manning. They did great in the portal, and they've spent, I think, the first or second most money. And so there's a lot of pressure, but you know what it's like. If you coach at the University of Texas, there's going to be more pressure on you than any place in the country, and that includes the Ohio State.
Very true. Now, while we're talking colleges, I keep reading about your college coach on the hot seat, and I still can't believe Dave Aranda has a seat in Waco. What's the outlook for your Baylor Bears this year?
Well, first of all, I read a thing today, and I'm not going to even mention the publication because I've never heard of the writer. He was writing 5 positive things about Baylor, and that's fine, starting with DJ Lagway, who transferred in. But then he mentioned Baylor and Kurt Signetti and Indiana, and I'm like, oh, my God. So I quit reading. But I have no hopes at all for Baylor. I think Dave Aranda, I think he would have been fired if Mack Rhodes hadn't been fired, shown the door, and I think they would have had Eric Morris from North Texas, who went to Oklahoma State, and I think they will be one of the biggest surprises and also the biggest turnaround in the country, led by quarterback Drew Mestemaker. And so I think Aranda will be fired after this season. And they have a new AD in Doug McNamee, who is a Baylor grad and understands Baylor very well. But I just hope when Baylor gets its next head coach, they look around for a guy like Willie Fritz and Kurt Signetti, guys that have won at different levels and have a proven track record. Don't take a coordinator, take a guy like that.
You know, John, it's interesting because I remember when Dave Aranda came to Baylor, everybody was really fired up and excited about what he could do, and he just really hasn't lived up to the expectations. And I'm curious, does Baylor just not spend the money? Are they not keeping up with everybody else when it comes to the NIL world?
When Aranda had that great season and they beat Ole Miss in the Sugar Bowl, he said, I don't think you need NIL transfer portal. And then 2 years later, he was wearing T-shirts in the spring that said, we pay players because they fell way behind. 2 years ago, I thought he was gone. They won their last 7, had a great game in the Kinder Texas Bowl against LSU, in which Sawyer Robertson threw for 440 yards, but Nussmeier won. And we all were fired up last year, and they didn't do squat and won 5 games. So, he's had too many losing seasons, and they don't. I wish that they would offer Cody Campbell an honorary doctorate, so maybe he'd give some money to Baylor's if he gets tired of giving it to Tech. But Baylor doesn't have somebody like that who's so fired up about football and sports. They'll do anything you need them to do, but they're kind of at a crossroads in football, even in basketball. Last year they had to replace every single player on their roster, and they did with the portal. And all these guys that had played well with other programs did not play well for Scott Drew. Now almost all of them are gone, and they're kind of starting over. But I guess Dave Aranda, his seat is so hot he cannot sit.
True. John McClain joining us here on the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Rookies get to camp, July 21st? Everybody else next Wednesday, July 29th. What's the mood like in Houston right now with the expectations? Great defense, but so many questions about C.J. Stroud in the offense.
Yeah, people are so fired up because, they, despite issues on offense last year, bad offensive line, no running game, didn't have their starting back all year. Joe Mixon, Stroud had to miss 3 games with a concussion and didn't play all that well. They still won 13 games after an 0-3 start. And so people are fired up. A lot of people nationally are picking him in the Super Bowl. I can't remember. I would not do that. And I can't remember who it was yesterday. Maybe it was Nate Tice. And I can't even remember if he still works for USA Today or what. Picked the Cowboys Texans Super Bowl, a rematch of the 4th game of the season at Reliant Stadium, and the Cowboys winning that Super Bowl. Now, I'm sure if you said to the Texans, would you take the Super Bowl right now and lose to the Cowboys, it would be a bitter pill, but they take it. And I think Cowboys, I've told you guys for weeks, are going to win the NFC East. I think the Texans are going to win the NFC South. The Texans need a better offense. Cowboys need a better defense. Both have worked hard to try to build those sides of the ball, and I can't wait for training camp to start. And we're going to see Fernando Mendoza and the Raiders in the joint practice, and then we'll see the second preseason game here against the Raiders, and I expect Mendoza to play quite a bit, so we're pumped about that.
Absolutely. I'm just pumped for some football. I want to ask you this, John, because it is not a surprise to me, but James Slater of the NFL Network is reporting that David Montgomery is basically going to be the lead bell cow running back, and Woody Marks will come in and see some significant amount of carries, but it's going to be Montgomery who's going to lead the way. Is that really a surprise to you?
No surprise at all. And I thought she reported it's going to be 50-50. And I got great respect for Jane. I like her. She's great at her job. She covers the Cowboys. There's no way anybody can know something like that now. But the plan is for Montgomery to be the starter, Woody Marks to come in as a receiver and dispel it, because David Montgomery, the odds are, he's not going to play 17 games. So you've got to have depth. Figuring out who's going to be their third back is one of the things they need to worry about in their training camp, as well as the tight end behind Dalton Schultz. Then they have to worry about, of course, their new linemen, 2 veterans they signed and 2 rookies they drafted in the 1st and 4th round. They need depth at defensive end, and they need a third linebacker, and they need nothing in their secondary.
John McClain joining us here on the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. John, Diego Pavia got released today. Why?
I have no idea, but I think he needs to go to the UFL or the CFL and establish himself and see if he can get a job with another NFL team, and he might make a career out of playing in Canada. Other quarterbacks have done that. Go up there and play, do well, have the NFL come after you, but he was sure a lot of fun at Vanderbilt. It's so funny. Never worried about Vanderbilt till he got there. Now they're all of a sudden, it's a big deal. Who's going to be the new quarterback at Vanderbilt? Used to, they didn't give a rat's you know what about anything at Vanderbilt, including the quarterback, since Jay Cutler was there.
All right, John, I've got to ask you. Nick Saban said today that just because a conference is, on a winning streak, winning national championships, doesn't make them the best conference. Obviously, he's still an SEC guy, but what are your thoughts on what Saban had to say?
Yeah, well, it's hard to not say the Big Ten's the best when they won the national championships last year. They also won it men and women's basketball. I think top to bottom, though, the SEC's best. The SEC, I saw average 80,000 fans a game. Now they're wanting to have their own set of rules. I didn't know they had rules in the SEC. They've been the dirtiest conference forever. Now it's all legal. And if they want to be pouting and pick up their little buckets and go in a different sandbox, let them go. All that posturing about they want their own rules, yeah, let Lane Kiffin make those rules. I think it's hilarious what the SEC is doing. I think Greg Sankey, as somebody called it Stanky, is making a fool out of himself.
The great John McClain. Follow him on Twitter at McClain_on_NFL. John, we'll talk to you next Thursday, my friend.
Guys, thank you very much. I appreciate it as always.
The great John McClain here on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com.
You know, I love John McClain. Obviously, he's a Houston Texans expert, and he knows what's going on there. But you can ask that guy anything. Yep. And he's read it all, he's heard it all, and he's always got an answer.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Except for, why today would Diego Pavia get fired?
Yeah, I'm not sure why today.
He was competing for the number 3 spot. Hell, he was a Heisman runner-up. But you don't even get him some training camp reps just to, one less mouth to feed at camp. I don't know, but normally this time of year you have what the term is training camp bodies. Guys are there just to get in some work. If anything, the other wide receivers that aren't going to make the team. It's just a bizarre day to get fired.
Well, maybe he pissed somebody off, or they knew he didn't have a chance and want to cut him loose so he maybe get another opportunity with somebody else. Who knows? Doing
him a solid, right?
Maybe.
You got no shot here, so we're going to let you go now, so maybe you got time to pick up somewhere else.
Maybe somebody will be dumb enough to pick you up.
We saw you in the spring, man. Don't waste our time.
He's just so small. Got to worry about it. He's a cocky little dude, too.
Well, I mean, yeah. And that's probably why he's, like, dude, we don't want you in the room. Do you imagine the hours you have to spend together at training camp? We can't have you here.
I can't have that happen. No, not at all. We got a lot more to talk about. Don't go anywhere. This is the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Injuries happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. It's conveniently located there in the Corey area. They have extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have your on-site x-ray, casting, and bracing. In fact, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you're injured, get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and the Gomez Law Firm present the 2026 Back to School Drive. Saturday, August 1st from 11 till 1 or while supplies last at the Gomez Law Firm, 2943 Moss Rock Drive. Free backpacks and school supplies for all school-age children while supplies last. Saturday, August 1st from 11 till 1. Sponsored in part by the College for Healthcare Professionals, AI United Insurance, Central Med, Tamalitos Restaurants, Somerset Academy, and Romo Door Supply.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
It's Texas Quarter Horse Racing's biggest weekend at Retama Park. Don't miss the live racing action. Friday is the big summer showdown with 6 incredible stakes races. And Saturday is the Retama Park Derby and the over 638,000 TQHA Futurity Race. Enjoy live music every Friday night during the races. Reserve your seat in terrace dining now or save your spot in San Antonio's best sports bar, Clubhouse 95. Visit tickets.retamapark.com for all the details.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
The greatest shopping event of the summer is here. Macy's Black Friday and July sale is back, where you'll find 40 to 60% savings on all the hottest summer fashion and more. Don't wait. Get first dibs on everything you love about Black Friday shopping, from unbeatable sales across the store to curated styles for the season at lower than low prices. Head to Macy's now for a fun-filled holiday shopping adventure smack dab in the middle of summer. It's the can't miss sale of the month. Black Friday and July at Macy's. Savings off select prices. Exclusions apply.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like public works supervisor.
Hey, this waterman is under a ton of pressure. Did you ever fix it?
Yeah, 3 layers of duct tape. Wait, should I have added a 4th layer?
This is a job for sponsored jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
You know, I used to think all money managers were the same until I spoke with Fisher Investments.
Really? How different are they?
Fisher's investment counselors are dedicated to service, not sales, keeping clients up to date on their portfolio.
Well, they probably just invest in a bunch of mutual funds like I do.
Nope. They build a tailored portfolio based on their clients' personal goals, helping them stay on track for a comfortable retirement.
Well, they must make commissions selling products.
Actually, Fisher doesn't sell any commission-based products. They're a fiduciary, and they believe that's a conflict.
Then they have some kind of complex fee structure.
Nope. Fisher has a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of their client's portfolio. So they do better when their clients do better.
It sounds like Fisher really is different.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Fisher Investments, clearly different wealth management. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson in the morning.
Coming up on the AJ and Rob Show, it's a Friday. We'll be partying, yeah. Looking forward to the weekend, Rob.
Not a lot of sports to talk about. LeBron still doesn't have a home. We'll figure out where he's landed. And guess what? Cowboys are in camp, and the Blitz is heading there. We'll get you ready for Cowboy camp and all the things you care about. Get here early. Party starts at 6.
AJ and Rob, weekday mornings 6 to 10, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I just heard something I don't believe.
What?
Minix, I know you're a concert guy. I get it, and you like going to concerts. I just heard Minix is going to a concert the night Texas plays Ohio State. How in the – I don't give a damn if Elvis came back to life. I'm not going to see that if Texas is playing Ohio State.
September 12th is going to be one hell of a day. And it all kind of started with, comments on our YouTube page, which you can access through sasportstar.com. In the last week, Jeremy Urban from Trinity was in. He brought a helmet.
Yep.
And Clint Killough brought an Incarnate Word helmet today. And, there's several comments on YouTube. You need a Texas State helmet. And we've asked them before, but I just texted their athletic director, Don Coryell, with a picture of said comment and, hey, this is what we're doing with our studio now.
Yeah,
we need to add it in. And Joe, who went to Texas State, and James Pledger, who went to Texas State, Joe was like, man, I need to go to that game. And I was like, yeah, but that's also Texas, Ohio State. And what sucks for me is Arizona State's playing September 12th in College Station. So I looked at all right, do we want to go to that game? Well, it's an 11 a.m. kickoff. I got a Friday night game. I'm not waking up at 5 a.m. to drive to College Station.
No.
But also, My Chemical Romance is playing that night in the Alamo Dome.
Oh, my gosh.
My daughter's flying in. We're supposed to go to the concert. And now I'm looking at, that's a day I just, fire up the grill and get a cooler full of beer and just watch football all day. I'd like to be at 3 different games. And then I realized that's also the night of the concert.
Yeah, it's Texas State's playing UTSA that day at 2:30.
Yep.
And then Texas, Ohio State's at 7 o'clock. So I figure I can go to the Texas State game and be home in plenty of time to watch Texas, Ohio State.
Wait. Plenty of time.
Sure.
You're going to go to a game in San Marcos, a college football game.
Or I'm going to stay in San Marcos and watch the game.
A G.J. Kinney team and a Jeff Traylor team. That game's not going to be over 2.5 hours. I mean, I think the World Cup trained you there's a immediate start and end time. No, that's not the case with college football.
It's a 4-hour game.
Yeah, that game will still be in the fourth quarter when Texas and Ohio State are kicking off.
Well, I love UTSA and I love Texas State, but I won't be there if it's not over. There's plenty of nice places there in San Marcos that I can get into.
Does Herbert's have TVs?
No, Herbert's does not. But there's a lot of bars down in the square that do. And
well, I can't say yet, but I know where you could end up, which is a short drive from San Marcos, but not near as long to get here where you're going to want to be. But I can't say anything yet.
Okay, I got you.
There's no way you can go to a game at Texas State, then watch the Longhorn game, and then be able to come home that night.
Well, why not, Pledge?
Ubers? Hotels?
Ubers.
That's a long Uber.
I mean, knowing Joe Reinagel, I think you go to the Texas State UTSA game and then drive up to Austin and go to the game in person.
Dude,
Talk about a double-double.
I don't want to mortgage my house. Can you imagine the ticket prices for Texas, Ohio State at
I think you could mortgage the house.
No.
I think that's the time where you say, you know what, I'm going to be irresponsible, but I want to be there.
No.
I do that all the time.
Well, I know you do. I just cannot believe, and that's why I had to bring it up, that you said, My Chemical Romance is playing that. I'm going, you got to be kidding me. There's no way you're going to a concert with Texas and Ohio State playing football.
It's MCR. Pledge is
Who
probably
gives a damn who it is?
Pledge will probably be at that concert. And the beautiful thing is they have televisions.
Oh, baloney.
And I've got a phone.
I mean, you can get in the building for $553 per ticket.
What is that, standing room only?
Up in Austin?
I could probably get better prices than that from John at Awesome Tickets, of course. But it's still, I mean, there's only so much he can do. Those tickets are going to be outrageous.
It's fine. It's going to be worth it. I mean, just like, when I went to the Texas-Georgia game. And, we were up near the top. I mean, I felt like when that drone show started there, I could have grabbed a drone. I mean, that's how high up we were. But the seats are great there at DKR.
No, it's
so
awesome.
You could sit up there.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm just telling you right now, I'm not going to the Texas-Ohio State game, but I will be watching it.
You should go.
No, I will be watching
We're going to turn the tables, man. You should go.
Dude.
Or go to the concert.
I won't be at the concert. I promise you that. I can't believe it. What kind of Longhorn fan are you? My Chemical Romance overdoes Texas, Ohio State. I could if it was Texas and, I don't know, Mississippi State or Texas, Florida. Texas anybody. But Ohio State? Dude, I can't believe that. There's no way.
You call Erica and tell her we're not going to the show.
My daughter, I say, you want to go? I got tickets. You go. I ain't going to be there.
Which is a possibility.
Joanna and Erica can go.
I don't think Joanna wants to go see MCR.
Well, then, I know Erica's not opposed to going to concerts by herself.
That's true, but, if I'm flying her in.
Whatever, dude. Hey, you go to see My Chemical Romance. That's great.
Although, should I go to the Arizona State game?
No.
In College Station.
You already answered that question, and I know you ain't no way you're getting up, making a 3-hour drive for an 11 o'clock kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
No, that ain't happening.
11 a.m. Although, no, I'm kind of glad because 11, 2:30, and, 6:30 or 7, whenever the Texas game is going to kick off, that's a perfect day.
Well, see, you could go to College Station, you get a hotel room, you go to the Dixie Chicken and watch the Texas game.
Uh-huh.
Well, I don't know. Will they show Texas football at College Station?
Sure they will.
They do?
I mean, absolutely.
I don't know. Yeah, this is going to be one for the history books.
What?
If you go to this concert instead of watching the Texas-Ohio State game, I'm flabbergasted, Minix.
Uh-huh.
Man.
It is, it's a dilemma.
A dilemma.
I mean, because look, everybody's already talking about the Ohio State game. Arch Manning, though, is trying to be very coy, saying, I can't look ahead to week 2 because that's not the next game on the calendar.
Yeah, we're excited. Obviously, week 2 is a big game, but, we got a bunch of big games, and so we're just going to take it one day at a time.
Mm-hmm.
One day at a time. Attaboy. He's already got the...
Arch is the cliche machine today at SEC Media Days.
Yeah, it's very special to me. I grew up going to SEC games, whether it's LSU, Ole Miss, and so now playing it is a dream come true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he didn't mention Tennessee. I don't know why.
Well, I mean, he is going to Baton Rouge for the first time.
I definitely heard about that when I went back to Manning Pass Academy in Louisiana. But we're excited. I grew up going to Baton Rouge for football games, and we're excited to go. It's going to be a good game. They're a great program with a bunch of good players, so we're excited.
Again, cliche.
Yes.
Tell me, Arch, about the A&M rivalry.
A&M, they got a bunch of good players, a great coach. That atmosphere is the real deal. So we're excited, always excited for that rivalry game, and we're pumped up.
Mm-hmm. You're pumped up, ready to go. All right, Arch, what's going to be the biggest difference this year versus last year?
Yeah, I think I've become more present. I've obviously matured. I think going through those rough times, learned a lot about myself, and I've become a better man because of it, and hopefully a better player. I don't want to repeat that game.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
We got to play the next one. It won't take long.
Yeah, just play Arch 8. When did football get fun last year?
I think when we started winning.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Good answer.
I'm looking at these, and Pledge does a great job of putting the time of the soundbite. The first one is 6 seconds, 7 seconds, 7 seconds, 13 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 11 seconds, 2 seconds.
I mean, he's been to some PR training. Keep your ankles Short and simple. Compliment the opponent. Just give credit to everybody but you. There's nothing worse than when you're doing an interview with somebody, especially when you know you have time. Like, all right, they're going to be on for 12 minutes, and they give you 7-second answers. And then there's other people that you get one question and maybe two, right?
Yes.
And
PJ Carlissimo.
Exactly. And then there's guys like Jimbo Fisher. You talk to Jimbo Fisher, and that guy talks so damn fast, he'll do a 12-minute interview in 3.5.
Yes.
I mean, that's...
Oh, my goodness.
Arch was good.
That was good.
Apparently, according to Dan Murphy at ESPN, the vote on the college sports bill is not expected before August.
Huh.
Although it's July 23rd. But
well, true. Who knows? I don't know if they'll have a vote with the SEC not happy with it. I don't think the Big Ten is happy with it. They want some changes made. So will there be a vote or won't there? Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Don't know.
Yeah. Here's a long-winded answer from Arch Manning on what the Manning legacy means to him.
Yeah, I grew up going to Ole Miss games. Obviously, Eli and my grandfather built legacies at Ole Miss, and we're just trying to take it day by day and win some games this year. I'm not really worried about my legacy.
Yeah. What about Uncle Peyton at that other school that
still
you
didn't
don't
mention Tennessee.
Well, because it's the wrong UT.
I'm just saying, though. I mean, hey, Uncle Peyton was there. Wow. I mean, Eli's not his dad either. He's just his uncle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got to mention Grandpa, and I guess I can see you got two going to Ole Miss and only one at Tennessee.
Didn't his dad go to Ole Miss too?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
To be fair, he was asked about Tennessee. I didn't pull that audio.
Oh, thanks.
Oh,
bud.
did he say something about Tennessee?
Great school, great program. Uncle Peyton went there.
Yeah,
Uncle
Peyton.
Uncle Peyton.
How about that?
You know what we do every Thursday about this time?
The Blitz wants you to know what's on tap. Presented by Sam's Burger Joint.
We get you ready for the weekend. We call it What's on Tap. It is brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint online, samsburgerjoint.com. Get your tickets, see their menu, their full calendar. Tonight, Pat Travers' band is going to be on stage. On Friday, Onda Stereo, a Soda Stereo tribute. Soda Stereo, are they really at the level where they get a tribute band?
I have no idea.
On Saturday, Bloody Cape, a Deftones tribute. Sunday, Exit Stage Left, a tribute to Rush.
Nice.
At Sam's Burger Joint.
That'll be good. If you're looking for something to do tonight, Green Hall is Roger Krager's birthday show, and it says in parentheses, full band.
Nice.
So that'll be a lot of fun. You're looking for something to do. Wolf Stadium, the Mission's taking on the Frisco Rough Riders. Stable Hall at the Pearl tonight, the Jeremy McComb Honky Tonk Circus Tour. And Catherine Blandford is at the LOL Comedy Club.
Tomorrow night, AC/DC, the Power Up Tour happening in the Alamo Dome. The Pretty Reckless are opening the show. Lord Huron at the Majestic Theater. You also get another Roger Krager birthday show with the full band. The Isaac Jacob Band is out at Floors Country Store. The Rock Box has Daft Punk Night. The Fix on Friday night will be at the Tobin Center.
Nice. Saturday night out at the Whitewater Amphitheater, the Black Keys, Peaches and Cream. Boeing Center at Techport Gaming Summer All-Nighter. You got the Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live Glow and Fire Show at the Frostbank Center on Saturday night. The Marvelous Miss Gender starring Bosco is at the Aztec Theater on Saturday night. Roger Krager is going to continue his birthday party at Green Hall, says full band. ACL Live, Y'all Out Boy with Elijah Delgado. They're playing out there. Ramon Ayala, Historia del Un Final Tour at the Moody Center on Saturday night. And Pix Bar, they got Chandler and the Bings.
Sunday, Aztec Theater has Flyleaf with Lacey Sturm, their 20th anniversary store. The Hot Wheels deal continues at the Frost Bank Center. Motionless in White is at the Germania Insurance Amphitheater. Mela is at the Rock Box on Sunday, and Shea Doman at Green Hall.
I will just mention this. Tuesday night at the Frostbank Center, Lionel Richie and Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Dude.
That'll be fun.
Dude.
And then Brian Adams is at the Moody Center on Tuesday night. How about that?
It is wild. Earth, Wind, and Fire, man.
Earth, Wind, and Fire. Little Lionel Richie, too.
That'd be a great show.
I think it'd be fantastic.
I'm just
Summer
glad
of
you...
69.
Summer of 69. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Little Brian Adams. Yes, sir.
On a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday night.
On a Tuesday.
How about that?
Mm-hmm. What's on Tap brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint. Again, online at samsburgerjoint.com.
Extra innings with James Pledger. That's coming up next here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Be sure and wake up early in the morning to hear the AJ and Rob show. They'll get you started at 6 o'clock. Minix and I live from Retama Park tomorrow afternoon. We'll get that started at 2. Until then, everybody, have a great night.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by